Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to the welcome webinar. It's 8:01. Let's wait for more 2-3 minutes to let other people join, and then we can start with the welcome webinar session. Hello, everyone. So just for the people who have just joined, we're just waiting for some more people to join, and we would start at around 8:05. Thank you. Hello, everyone. So I see most of people have joined, and there are other people will be joining us soon. So let me quickly start because we have a good amount of agenda to be covered for today. So hello and a very good morning to everyone. I am Priya Dhatrak. I'm managing MLAI course and programs at Upgrad. I would like to welcome you to welcome webinar and the base camp for the November 2022 cohort of Upgrad and IIITB Bangalore. Executive Post Graduation Program in Machine Learning and AI. I would also like to welcome our learners who have taken up our LGMU course, which is Masters in ML and AI program. Before we start, I also want to clarify that the main program is already live on the platform from 30th of November 2022. I hope all of you would have received the email for the same. So you should be able to access the first learning course already. Just to give you a hint, the name of the first course that is published is Statistic Essential. Although we have an additional course also published on the platform, which is Data Science Toolkit course, which is a pre-preparatory course and a prerequisite to your main program. Just to give you a hint, that you would have around more 15 days into your course to complete your pre-preparatory course and clear your basics with regards to Python. So before we will begin, can anyone tell me what is a base camp? You can post your answers on the chat section, and if there are any Q&As, I would request you to post in the Q&A sessions. We would make sure that we take up these Q&As towards the mid of the session and towards the end of the session. Thank you. A base camp is a staging area used by mountaineers to prepare for a climb. Now, I'm guessing some of you may have gone through a trek or climbed up a mountain. Once you prepare well, you know you will come out successfully. So the purpose of today's base camp is similar. You are about to set sail on an incredible learning journey with UpGrad. And we all gather today to prepare you for the next few months of the course. Hope you all are safe and staying indoors. While everyone at UpGrad as well as everyone have started working in a hybrid manner, we are here all geared up to launch this batch remotely for all of you. So with this introduction, I will quickly take you to the agenda for today and then start with the first session. Here is how your next couple of hours are going to be. First, we will talk about the age of automation and the need of upskilling, followed by a session with Mr. Sunil Kappal, working as Director Data Analytics for Milk Basket, Reliance Retail Venture Organization, and he has 2 decades of industry experience. We will then proceed with the detailed description about our learning experience and the various components involved. I would just quickly want to understand, am I going a bit fast? If there's any queries, please let me know about it. Shraddha, I'm not sharing any kind of screen right now. I'll just take you through the introduction and then post Mr. Sunil Kappal's session. We'll have a screen sharing done, and there will be few things related to the course shared with you all. Most welcome. We will have my colleagues from the content team and outcomes team joining later to shed more lights on those aspects of the upcoming program. Then we would start with a session by IIITB Professor. Professor V. Sridhar would be there on the session today. He will talk a bit about the curriculum and the various university policies. Then we will conclude with an Q&A session. So that's all for Saturday morning for you all to start up and gear up for this course. Moving to the next agenda for today, which is what we discussed in the first pointer, the age of automation and the need of upskilling. So one of the core reasons why we do what we do is because we believe that world is changing extremely fast and being agile and staying ahead to the curve in these fast changing times. We will be critical for us to succeed. So the biggest example is that we used to have an offline base camp or webinars, and post-COVID, we have been going through online. So here I am today to tell you what we have entered the age of automation. It's hard to fathom the meaning of that. We are in the territory, the 4th industrial revolution, and it's happening right now. 20 years ago, digitization and automation meant replacing paper-based process to computer-based process. Fast forward to today, digitization of various processes across all industry vertical is happening with a goal of not to simplify our lives, but to also achieve things that are considered humanly impossible. The field of data analysis and machine learning are bringing sophistication to products, services, experience, and solving all the greatest challenges the world faces today. Like in the medical field, Computers can sort through vast data sets to analyze medical inputs and specific treatment options unique to each point. In the field of energy, Google has used its artificial intelligence platform DeepMind to predict when its data centers will get too hot. Cooling systems are not activated when required. AI has saved Google around 40% in energy cost as it serves farms. Apart from this, fraud and risk detection, speech and image recognition, recommendation system, efficient route planning are some of the other major areas where the use of data analysis, machine learning, and artificial intelligence is reshaping the world as it is known for. All this has only been possible because there is so much data getting generated each year. Currently, it's estimated that over 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created every single day, and it's only going to go through from there. Now, if the data is the new oil, then knowing how to refine it into actionable business insight is the key to unshelling its potential. This creates immense opportunities for IT professionals who can deploy technology and harness analytics to make business more efficient or improve customer experience. In the career part, careers in the field of data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence are taking center stage and developing your skill sets in these domains, which means that you will join a community of data, ML, and AI professionals who are working towards solving some of the most exciting challenges the business around the world face today, and it will set up for an immense success in the future. Then why the need of upskilling is intensified in India? India's population may be on the rise, and despite the fact that a large part of the population is now engaged in tech-oriented jobs, the thirst of employees looking for upskilled employees has increased. And with that, the need of quality higher education has become very important. Talk about how we saw parents in one job throughout their lives versus current ratio 2:1. So if I could ask you a simple question, that how many times your parents would have like switched jobs versus how many jobs you have switched within past your working years. So if you say the ratio, can I get quick answers on the chat section? So if anyone could just let me know like how many jobs your parents switched versus how many jobs you switched within 5 or 10 years of your experience. Yeah. So with this ratio, we could easily get to know that the ratio for switching jobs in current generation is more than the one which our parents had. We at Upgrad are trying to bridge this gap. While the education system is ensuring that a large number of engineers pass out of the country, we are making sure that you are getting exposed to learnings that will be essential for your future. Our program will cover the fundamentals of machine learning and AI and set a strong foundation for you to build on. Before I end my part and pass on the webinar to Mr. Sunit, let me give you 2-3 points to remember. The first one, just a word of caution, upskilling should not be perceived as a career hack. Adopting the practice of lifelong learning will be essential for you to grow professionally. The second one, self-awareness is the key to success. If you are not aware about your own skill proficiency or lack of thereof, you will end up spending your time comparing yourself to others instead of focusing on skill enhancement. For example, some of your batchmates may end up getting a job switch or a promotion or a salary hike while they are still pursuing the program, while some of you might take longer. The third thing, keep the focus on learning and becoming exceptionally with your skill sets. That is the secret to success and happiness. With all this, I believe the only way to maintain professional relevance in this digital progressive world is to remain ambitious, upskill, and keep yourself ready for the careers of tomorrow. Good luck. Looks like I have overshot the time allotted to me. So I would just invite Mr. Sunil Kapil sir to take it ahead with a presentation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And yeah, let me just go ahead and share my screen. And while I'm doing that, first of all, good morning to everyone. And I think that we are all geared up to go through the very basics of machine learning. And even before we do that, I would like to congratulate you all for finally deciding to take up this course and be part of this exciting community that we call data analytics and data science. And one thing that I can assure you of is that during this webinar, you will see various facets of machine learning, data science, data analytics, and we'll go through some interesting bits of how exactly these techniques and methods are are applied in various setups. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and share the agenda for this webinar. So the agenda is pretty straightforward. I'll be introducing myself, and then we're going to have a look at what exactly data science or machine learning is and why we need machine learning. And we will also try and look at, or probably understand to be more specific, what sort of challenges we face and we tackle within the field of data science, machine learning, or AI, whatever you want to call it. One thing that I want to call out at the very onset of this particular webinar, you will hear me using machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence, analytics interchangeably. So don't get worked up, don't get confused with the very fact that whether I'm doing machine learning or data science or AI or data analytics, it is part of one another. So you need not to worry about that. What we're going to focus on is one, the kind of use cases, the basic understanding of what exactly data science, machine learning, or data analytics is all about. All right. And then towards the end of this particular webinar, we will also have a look at various use cases. And, to me, this is one of the most exciting parts of the webinar, where you would be able to see that how your knowledge meets the industry relevance. When I say industry relevance, my intent is to showcase that what sort of business problems we deal with within the industry and how we address those challenges by using various machine learning techniques. So this is a little bit about me. So my name is Sunil Kapil, and currently I'm working as Director Data Analytics with the Milk Basket, which has been recently acquired by Reliance Retail. Um, I've got more than 2 decades of industry experience, and I've been guest lecturing at various universities across the globe. You can see a few names out here. I've also published a book which is named as Statistics for Rookies, and I've authored research papers. They've been published in various international journals. And one thing that I really take pride in, and I think that we all have uh, that common attribute, if you will, which means that we all are lifelong learners. So what does this mean? This means that if you want to stay relevant to the field of your choice or to the field of your practice, you really need to ensure that your skill set, your knowledge, and your acumen related to the industry is always up to date. And that is why it is very important for each one of us to ensure that we keep on learning new technologies. We keep on learning new methodologies to ensure that we continue to add value, not only within our professional what should I say, within our professional environment, but also personally. Why? Because once you start learning new things, you will see that it helps you to gain more confidence. So with that being said, you can see that I've taken a few specialization and certifications from various top-notch universities across the globe. I think university being a top notch or or a A grade school or a B grade school doesn't matter till the time you're learning, because learning is the key. So now what we're gonna do is one thing that'll going to help you to better understand what is machine learning or what is data science is from a way of a story. So whenever I talk about the concept of machine learning, I have two approaches. One is the theory that we're going to cover up by the way of this particular story that we're going to have a look at. And then the other way is what exactly happens within the industry, because I believe this is something which is super important for each one of you to understand how exactly industry differs from academia. When I say academia, I'm referring to the theory part, or I'm referring to the curriculum or syllabi that you're going to go through during your during your course. So before we start to talk about what exactly data science or machine learning is, the very first thing that we need to understand is the basic concept. So machine learning is about discovery, it is about interpretation, it is about communication, and then identifying meaningful patterns. So you all may be thinking in your mind that what do we mean by these four words that you have just mentioned? So let's take a scenario. You're sitting on your workstation and your boss walks up to you and says that, hey, I've got the CSV file or Excel file. It has got loads and loads of data. Just have a look at this and tell me if you happen to see something interesting related to the business problems or the business goals of the organization. So the very first step that you're going to do is you will start to go through that particular data file, which means that you will start looking into that particular data. Essentially, what is happening over here is you are trying to identify or discover certain interesting patterns within that data. And once you start to do that, slowly and gradually, you start to develop some level of interpretation, some sort of interpretation about that data. And once you start to develop that interpretation, then what you do is for validation purposes, you sort of speak about those things within your peer group or probably with your boss. You communicate. Why you communicate? Because you really need to ensure that whatever you're seeing within that particular data file is relevant and is specific to what exactly your business wants to achieve at the end of the day. And then towards the end, you start to see some meaningful patterns emerging out of those interpretations and that entire discovery activity. So essentially, this is the very foundation of any data science or machine learning project. So now let's go through the story. It's a pretty interesting one, and it's a quick one. I mean, I'm not going to take ages to talk about the story, but the story is about a lion who's growing old and weak, and the lion is pretty worried about the fact that if he's unable to hunt properly, then he may die of hunger, or probably somebody else may kill him. So he's quite worried. So what he does is he hires a fox. He hires a fox to help him find prey. Now, fox, the general connotation or the general perception about the fox is that fox is clever. So that is why the lion hired a fox, and the fox started to ask certain questions, because the end goal over here is to help the lion hunt efficiently, right? Because that's why, or that's what the lion is worried about. So the fox starts to ask certain questions, and based on the questions that the fox asked the lion, on the very first day, the fox came up with certain findings related to the questions that the fox asked, which means that where exactly the lion hunts most of the time within the jungle, what are the routes that the lion takes within the jungle, are there any specific area or specific type of prey that the lion hunts most of the time. So if you have to connect this entire scenario with the four words that you see on top of your screen, what exactly is happening is the fox is performing the discovery and the interpretation part of the equation. which means that by asking relevant questions, the fox is trying to discover various aspects of lion's hunting style, and then in in his head, fox is also trying to process the information to make some sort of interpretation. And if we go by the industry, or if we go by the books, this entire activity can be called as descriptive analysis, because we are trying to describe the situation using the data. And that is why it is called as descriptive analysis. Now, based on the information that the fox was able to gain from the lion, the next thing that the fox did, the fox started to estimate the probability of finding a given prey. Now, what is happening over here is, once the fox was able to identify certain interesting aspects while asking questions, the fox was able to gather historic understanding of lions' hunting habits. Okay, and based on those hunting habits, the fox said, okay, so most of the time the lion takes route which is in the middle of the jungle, and the most of the time lion hunts near to a pond, and most of the time lion is hunting either a bull or a deer. So these kind of interpretations and these kind of things the fox came up with. And the fox also helped lion to understand, to identify, and to recognize the very fact that there are few routes within the jungle that he can take without losing a lot of energy, and would be able to hunt more efficiently. And if we look at this entire activity that has happened, this particular activity can be described as predictive analysis along with optimization. So now you must be thinking in your minds that, how how come this is predictive analysis? So let me just give you an example. Each one of us as human beings, we have habit of we have a habit of doing predictions in our heads. So let me just give you an example. Um, you have a match to play, okay? We all love cricket, right? So we decided that, okay, we're going to go out and we're going to play. So the moment you step out of your home with your entire cricket kit, the first thing that you look is, towards the sky, and you see, oh gosh, I see a patch of black clouds. There could be a possibility that it might rain. But still, you say that, it's a patch of clouds, so you need not to worry. Okay, the very first prediction was it'll gonna rain, and it was based on the fact that there's a patch of black cloud in the sky. But you decided to move, so you moved. You stepped into your car or vehicle, or probably to your nearest Uber, and you start to move towards the ground. And while driving towards the ground, towards the cricket ground, what you see is that now it's no more a patch of black clouds. It is like whole lot of black clouds that you see in the sky, and it's little chilly as well. So now you're worried. Why you're worried? Because it's no more a patch of cloud, and there's a high probability that it may rain. So you have what you have done is you have optimized your previous prediction by including some additional variables. Interesting. Now you still say that, okay, let's see, let's reach the ground. So you reach the ground, and there you find all of your friends waiting for you. And the next thing that you hear is wind blowing. We call it gusty winds. Okay, so winds are blowing, and now you're thinking to yourself, I see a whole lot of black clouds in the sky, but at the same, it's chilly as well, but at the same time the wind is blowing, so there's a probability that the wind may take away the black clouds and it may not even rain. So now what you have done, once again, you have made a third round of prediction in your head based on another variable, that is wind. So now what you're doing is, as a human being, you're predicting and then you're optimizing. You're predicting, you're optimizing. So this is essentially what the fox was doing. The fox was asking a whole lot of questions. The fox had a historic perspective based on whatever discussions she had with the lion. And at the end of the day, the fox was able to help the lion to identify the most efficient routes and the most efficient way of hunting a particular prey. So this is a perfect example of how we human beings do a whole lot of prediction from a theory standpoint. And now, if we have to look at the entire life cycle of machine learning, we start from describing the data. Once we have gained the historic perspective, we start to predict the outcomes. And once we start to predict the outcomes to ensure that those outcomes are accurate, we start to optimize those predictions by adding additional information or variable. And then towards the end, what we do is we start to automate. Automation is AI, okay? So we do not want to reinvent the wheel of getting the data, ingesting the data, and then redoing the entire modeling activity, okay? So we create some systems, we create some processes so that we can automate the entire machine learning activity. So this is how the entire data science or AI or machine learning life cycle looks like. And I've also shared, the example of cricket play. So I think you can relate to what kind of predictions we as human beings have a habit of doing in our heads. Now that we have a very basic idea of what machine learning in a nutshell is, let's see how it is practiced in the industry. Okay, so there's a very popular methodology or framework. We call it CRISP, which is Cross Industry Standard Process for Data Mining. CRISP DM. We call it CRISP DM, and you can Google it out as well. So this is one of the widely used framework when it comes to performing data mining activities for gaining insights out of the data. So the very first aspect of that framework is before you start with any data science, machine learning, data mining, data analytics project, it is very important for you to align that project with the goals of the organization. Okay. Or you need to understand or identify a business problem which is important for the organization. Because if you pick anything to work on as a data science project, and if that particular project is not aligned with the organizational goals, you will not be able to implement that project. Okay, so that is the very first thing. And then the next thing is you collect necessary data. Okay, when you start to collect necessary data, um, data in the most simplistic form that we have seen so far is either residing within our Excel files or CSV files, or probably for few of you, you may be using JSON or any other flat file format. But within the data itself, we primarily divide data into two kind of data sets. Okay, we call it structured and unstructured data. And in this scenario, we are talking about primary data and secondary data. So primary data can be considered as structured data, data which is sitting in your tables in a very clean and concise manner. You need not to work a lot on those data tables. They are sitting in a very disciplined manner within your Excel files or CSV files or JSON files. Then we have secondary data. Now, what could be a secondary data? Secondary data could be data that is there available on various websites. Those websites could be Amazon. Okay, you are a product-based company. You are selling products on Amazon, Flipkart, eBay, Best Buy. You're selling it everywhere. Okay, and whenever somebody uses your product, they leave a review. So those reviews can be considered as unstructured data. And then it could be your emails, it could be your SMSs. You are also running a contact center. You are receiving millions and millions of calls in a day. Those audio files are examples of unstructured data. Okay. Now, once you have collected the necessary data, the next thing that you would want to do is you need to clean the data. So cleaning the data is the most important aspect of any data science project. Okay, it is quite popularly mentioned within the industry. Your your algorithm or your data science output is project output is as good as your data, which means that if your data is not good, your outcomes will not be good. Your inferences of that data would be incorrect. You will not be able to present information in the most in the most accurate manner. That is why almost all the data science professionals, almost all of them, they spend 80% of their time in cleaning the data. So you can understand that how important this aspect is. And we have loads and loads of ways to clean the data, but one of the most popular ways of doing it is missing value imputation and outlier detection and treatment. So what is missing value imputation? Let me just give you an example. So you have a customer table. In that customer table, you see that you have a whole lot of customer demography and geography related information. Okay. You have, excuse me, you have customer name, you have age of the customer, you have salary of the customer, address, city, state, etc., etc. Okay. And within the age column, what you see is that there are a couple of thousands of customers who do not have their age mentioned next to their names. Now, there are two options to go for. Either you get rid of those couple of thousands of rows, and in my opinion, that is not the most relevant or most accurate way of dealing with missing values, because what will going to happen is that you will be losing information of those 1,000 or 2,000 customers. So I mean, it depends. If you want to delete, you can delete the most easy way. But if you don't want to delete, what options do we have? So we have another option. We call it average based imputation. So what you can do is you can either take the average of the entire customer population, and once you get that average, then what you can do is you can input that particular average in all the fields where the age is missing. Or you can divide the population by specific attributes. For instance, people living in X city or earning X amount, they have this particular average age. So you can assign those age values based on various attributes. So this could be one of the ways to do a missing value imputation. Now let's talk about outlier detection and treatment. This is also something which is very, very prevalent and very important aspect. So once again, let's take an example of customer data table. And within the customer data table, you have a section that is salary. Now, if you look at the average salary of all the customers of the entire population, you see that the average salary comes out to be $500,000 per annum. And at the same time, you see that there are certain customers who are earning probably $1 million per annum, and then you also have few customers who are just earning probably $70,000 per annum. So there's a huge gap. If you minus, if you do min max, you will see that the range is quite wide. So now this could be one of the reasons that your model may end up overfitting or may end up making wrong predictions, because you will not be able to, because you do not have, sort of, what should I say? You have a whole lot of outliers within the data. There could be another way where you take the median. You can just simply take the median, but taking median means that you would be just focusing on the middle part. So it entirely depends what kind of outlier detection or treatment methodology you will opt for. But one of the most prevalent or one of the most used methodology is min max, okay, or probably a median based as well. So now that you have cleansed the data, the next thing is data transformation. Now, what exactly data transformation? Okay, so data transformation, uh, it can be construed as, or it can be explained as, you create additional features, you create additional data values, or columns of data. So example could be, once again, your customer table, you have the age group, and the spread of the age group is 17 through 75, which is quite a lot of spread. So the next thing that you think of, that why don't I just simply go ahead and create groups like 17 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, so on and so forth. So once you do this, this could be very well considered as a part of data transformation. While there are more complex methods and complex ways of explaining data transformation, but I think for starters, for beginners, this is the best way to understand data transformation. Now that you have completed the data transformation part, the next thing is exploration, the analysis, the visualization, where you bring in, your Excel spreadsheets, you visualize the data using charts or probably Power BI or a Tableau or, ClickSense or ClickView, whatever business intelligence module you want to use. You bring in that particular aspect so that you can make sense of the data. And if you look at from point number 2 till point number 5, what we've been doing is we've been just probing the data. We are exploring the data so that we can get sense of the data. We are just discovering the data to develop some sort of interpretation. Do you remember those 4 words? Discovery, interpretation, communication, meaningful pattern. So we are right now in the field of, or in the realm of, discovery, interpretation. Perfect. Now that we have explored the data, the next thing is to start creating some sort of algorithm to make the predictions. Remember, Fox asked a whole lot of questions to the lion, and once the fox had all the answers, the fox was able to develop some sort of prediction method through which she helped the lion to hunt more efficiently. So this is exactly what we are doing. Okay, we now that we have probed the data, we have a historic perspective of the data. We have started to develop the model, and once we develop the model, obviously we have to evaluate as well. Okay, and then the last thing is, once we are done with all the steps 1 through 6, the most important part is insights presentation and productionization. This particular aspect of the machine learning or data science lifecycle is a make or break uh, part of the entire equation. Why? So just think about it. You have put in so much of effort to create this amazing algorithm that can help your organization to reduce customer churn. Okay. But your stakeholders, they are not ready to implement it. Why they are not ready to implement it? Because you were, during the presentation, you were unable to show what kind of value your solution will gonna bring, how easily it'll gonna help you or your organization to reduce the customer churn problem. Because in your presentation you just talked about technical aspect of your solution, which means that, I have used two-way classification jungle or a random forest method. I've used this metric, that metric to look at the accuracy of the model. I've used the most latest and greatest methodology to create this solution, but you never talked about that, what kind of ROI, that is return on investment, what kind of ROI your solution will going to bring. So that is why it is very important that when you present your solution, one, that solution should not have a whole lot of jargon in it. It should be easy to understand, and it clearly shows what kind of value your solution will going to bring to the business relative to the problem that you're trying to solve for. So now you can compare. Okay, in theory, there are a whole lot of things that you do, but in practicality, it is all about showcasing the value through the machine learning solution that you have developed. And that is why we really need to have both the perspectives. Perfect. Now that we have understood what exactly data science, AI, machine learning, data analytics is all about, let's have a historic perspective of how exactly it evolved. Okay, how exactly machine learning happened. So if you look at the timeline, I'm not trying to say that machine learning or statistical modeling or algorithmic equation building, all those kind of things were not happening prior to 1990s. As a matter of fact, the very first Hungary or very first neural network equation was written in 1851, if I'm not wrong. That's what I remember. And but I think that this timeline is more relevant for each one of us. And that is why I kept it this way. So in 1990, everything was manual. Okay. People used to write equations, mathematicians and statisticians, they used to write equations by hand. And then they used to, further optimize those equations, those solutions by hand, which means that it was quite dexterous. Okay. Very, very tiresome, very laborious. Then in 2000 to 2005, the very first major training data set was developed, which means that a data set to train your equations, your model on was created. But it was super slow. Why? Because we did not have that kind of computational power compared to what we have today. Then in 2005 to 2010, the very first widely used platform for creating training data set was developed, and it was developed by Amazon. And with the inception of MTurk. So what is MTurk? MTurk is called as Mechanical Turk. So Mechanical Turk can be explained as crowdsourcing. I don't know how many of you have heard crowdfunding, where a whole lot of people come together on a particular platform for a particular cause, and they pull in some amount, some money so that they can help somebody to alleviate their problem. It could be a disease, it could be a financial situation, it could be anything. So that is called as crowdfunding. And similarly, crowdsourcing is MTurk, where what happens is that uh, the uh, uh, the activities that we believe machine should be doing, when we see that machine is unable to do that, we assign those tasks to human beings. And when we assign those tasks to human being, that particular activity is called as crowdsourcing. Okay. So one of the example of crowdsourcing is lab empty. You can make a note of it. LAB lab empty is one of the NLP libraries within Python, and it helps you to generate sentiment scores relative to the reviews, etc. And how this was created. So there were 50 to 80,000 words which were given to various individuals across the globe, and they were given a scale of -10 to +10. Based on that particular word, based on a particular word, they were supposed to rate that word on the scale that I just talked about. So just think about it. If there is a word which says sad, it may have a negative scoring of, say, anywhere in between -1 to -2. But when I say disgusted, this word has a severe negative connotation. Okay, so this may have a rating of -5 or a -7, so on and so forth. So essentially, this is what I'm saying. So this kind of activity, this kind of processes started to occur in 2005, in between 2005 to 2010. Then in 2010 through 2015, people who were non-programmers. So there's a very big misconception, especially for those who think that they cannot code, so they cannot be successful in the field of data analytics. It is not at all the case. And I consider myself as one of the examples. Why? Because I'm an English honors graduate, which means that I hail from a literature background. Yet I was able to make, yet I was able to pave my way into this most complex and amazing industry of data analytics. Okay, so to be able to excel in this field, two things that you need to think of. Okay, and coding, not that important. Okay, but you really need to have good understanding of statistics. You really need to have good understanding of algebra and calculus. If you can take care of these three things, you are covered. Okay, coding is a trainable aspect. If you start working on writing codes, start simple, start soft, believe you me, you'll be able to take care of that part. So don't even keep that thought that, oh, I cannot code, so I cannot be successful in this industry. No, it is not the case. So in 2010 to 2015, people like me, we started to get into the mix of data scientists. Okay, we started to annotate the data. So data annotation is nothing but the example that I shared of crowdsourcing. Okay, you're annotating a particular word with a sentiment score. That is data annotation. And the very first data hungry neural model was created. And now, if I have to compare where we stand today compared to 2015, we have made some great progress. Okay, we have models that can perform very well on smaller data sets. We are creating synthetic data sets so that we can create more models. Okay, we are getting pre-trained models. We need not to train them. We just need to pick those models, plug them into our code block, and that's about it. So a great amount of progress has been made if I have to really compare where we stand today vis-a-vis 1990s. So now that we have looked at the evolution of machine learning, we also need to understand why it is so important, why I have so many participants on this webinar who really want to learn machine learning or who really want to be part of data science fraternity. The very simple answer is this, okay? This one percentage, this one number makes a big, big impact, okay? It's a big statement. 81% of the organizations, they believe that their leadership, their people should be taking decisions based on data. Your business acumen certainly is important, but when you sort of combine your business acumen with the data, you will end up making uh, more productive decisions. Okay, your decisions would be accurate. You will not be doing guesstimation. You would be doing yeah, you would be making decisions that are going to help your organization to achieve their business goals. And apart from that, you can, on the left hand side, you can see that to better understand customers, 73% of the organizations, they believe that they should be leveraging machine learning, data science, or data analytics. And obviously, a lot of them also believes that if they really want to improve their offerings or services or products, they really need to use data. And that is why we look at the real value. That is why we need to look at this particular slide. Now that we understand that how passionate the organizations are, we also need to understand that what kind of skills are important for us to be successful. So obviously, analytical thinking, critical thinking using data, that is why it says analysis, complex problem solving, emotional intelligence, system evaluation, and analysis. These are some skills that are growing rapidly. Okay, so there was a survey which was conducted in 2018 by World Economic Forum, and as per them, these are certain skills which will be in demand and they will continue to grow. Okay, while being laborious, being very hardworking, it's not a bad attribute, but you really need to think whether you need to be a smart worker or a hard worker. And data helps you to do that. Okay, so just give me a moment here. So now this is something which is also very important. Okay, obviously you all are taking up this course. You all are into masters, and some of you are doing certification courses as well. So it is important for you to understand that what future has in store for you. Okay, and this is one slide that'll give you an idea of what kind of roles you can eye for or you can opt for. And I just want to make one statement very clear. Where you see the name of the organizations under hired by, it does not mean that only these organizations are hiring. It means that these are the top hiring organizations. There are a whole lot of organizations who are hiring various data literate resources. Okay, so these are few roles that are available within the space of machine learning, data science, AI, or data analytics. And based on your area of passion, you can think about. So if you are somebody who loves to, create data sources, who loves to clean the data, who loves to, do a whole lot of data augmentation, you can think of being a data engineer, data architect, so on and so forth. So, sky's the limit. So now we need to understand what are those core challenges that we face within the industry. So the very first challenge that we face is multi-channel integration. I talked about those of you who loves to augment the data, enrich the data, you can be data engineers. So this is a data engineering problem. So at the very start, when we were looking at primary and secondary data, we talked about few of the data sitting in table, no issues with that data, but there are other data as well, like your Twitter data, review data on Amazon, emails, calls, so on and so forth. So these are various channels of data. So the biggest challenge is how to combine all these channels. The biggest challenge is how to amalgamate the sources so that we have single version of truth. And then the other challenge is hard to use data. So I was reading this article a few months ago, and I read about this organization who was highly successful, but they were also candid about the fact that they were just using 2% of their data. It's a pretty bold statement to make. Only 2% of the data was used by that organization, which means that they were sort of they were not looking at 98% of their data, and yet they were successful. So just think about it. If you can move this number of 2% to 10%, what kind of value it can add to your business? So hard to use data is usually a data which you cannot clean, which you cannot, there's a whole lot of noise in that data and you cannot use. So that is another challenge. And then we have knowledge issues, okay, where business within their DNA, they think that data, they're fine with it, but they still rely a lot on their business acumen. That is another problem, okay? But slowly and gradually, data science and data analytics is making a dent as far as this thought is concerned, because now a whole lot of stakeholders, they have started to use their business acumen along with the data to make more focused decisions. Then effective channel attribution. Effective channel attribution is sort of a more of a use case than of a challenge, if I may say so. Why? Because you are in today's digitization or digitized world, so to say, you are acquiring customers from almost all the channels of customer or all the touch points, customer touch points. Your customer touch point could be, yeah, the mobile phone, your mobile app, your website, probably your contact center, an ad in the newspaper, an ad on the radio. These are all customer touch points because you're communicating with your customers through these touch points. But you still don't know which particular touch point is helping you to acquire most of your customers. So this is one challenge. And this challenge is also part of marketing analytics, where we talk about customer segmentation. So this is one problem or one challenge that the industry is still facing. And then obviously we have statistical skills, and that is why the core module that you have within your syllabus is statistical essentials. And that is why it is important for each one of you to have a good understanding of statistics, because a whole lot of model evaluation, algorithmic evaluations are based on certain statistical phenomena, statistical metrics. Perfect. So now that we have looked at the challenges, how we solution them. So I'm going to make this slide pretty simple for you to digest. Okay. On the vertical axis, we are looking at what, how, and overlaps in terms of technology. And on the horizontal axis, you are looking at data, information, knowledge, and awareness. So to make this entire slide sound pretty simple, all you have to do is you need to ensure that you're collecting the data right at the first time. And to be able to do that, you have to have a data strategy, along with technology. So once you have taken care of this, then you would be able to combine or enrich your data in a more efficient and effective manner by using data management and architecture frameworks. Okay. So essentially, what you do is you have synthesized the data, you have combined all the data sources, and now you have single version of truth. Once you have single version of truth, that information translates into knowledge. How? Because what you will do is now you will start to use your business intelligence tools to identify those interesting patterns. Remember, discovery, interpretation, communication, and finding meaningful pattern. This is essentially what is happening throughout these slides. Okay. And once you have developed that knowledge, once you have understood those patterns, you will be more aware as business as to where exactly you need to put your focus so that you can gain maximum business benefits. And at the end of the day, this is the prime what should I say? This is the uh, prime reason that why you would want to deploy data analytics or data science related methodologies. So this is how simple it is. Well, if you're gonna get into the real world, there would be certain challenges for each and every point that we have just talked about. But to start off with, this is the best way that you can understand as to how you can solution your challenges. Okay, perfect. Now the most interesting bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at various use cases that I along with my team we created for various Fortune 100 to 500 organizations across the globe. And what kind of themes we had? So we were tackling go to market strategy related use cases. We were doing customer analytics, operations analytics, financial analytics, and people analytics. So without further ado, let me just take you to the go-to-market strategy. So do keep in mind, a few slides back, we talked about, multi-channel integration, okay, various touch points. So in this particular use case, the idea was that we have existing customers to whom we are providing data analytics consultancy. And then obviously we also want to acquire some more customers. Okay. So the thought was that how we can use historic data and we can create some sort of API or an application that we can hand over to our customers to assess themselves. And then once they have done the assessment, they come back to us stating that, okay, we want your help because analytically we are not that mature, because because we were able to identify certain patterns based on the historic data and based on the customer's assessment of their business. And that is how we end up getting more business. And this is exactly what is happening within this particular API. So you will see that I've got a whole lot of models. Okay, I've got top performing models within this API, and then I have various sources of data: average handle time, non-talk time, sentiment, complaints, and repeats. These data, they are coming from various sources. So my sentiment score is coming from my machine learning output. Okay. Complaints are coming from Better Business Bureau website. Repeats are coming from my speech analytics application. And average handle time and non-talk is coming from my CRM report. So we amalgamated all this data. We shipped this particular application to our client, and we asked them to rate themselves. And the moment they rate themselves, they will see some sort of result over here. So you will see that in a while, it's going to say mid-maturity. So the moment the customer says mid-maturity, they're going to click on, flag. And once they click on flag, it will going to trigger an email to our sales team, to our outreach team, with a detailed report of how this customer is doing in terms of business. And we will benchmark this customer's performance with a detailed report. So this is the best way of using data to get more business, to sell or upsell your services to the client. And this was one of the use cases that we developed for one of our clients. Then we have customer analytics. So essentially, in economics, you may have heard about high demand, low price, low demand, high price. So we did this particular analysis. So it was not only about high demand, low price or low demand, high price. It was about, can we help this client to optimize their product cost or the price of the product, price optimization, so that even if they reduce some amount of price of the product, it does not adversely affect the revenue of this organization. So we did this for one of the leading retailers based out of the US, and we did this analysis for somewhere around about 150 odd product categories, and each product category had 5 to 10,000 subcategories or products. So just think about it. We just simply leverage one of the core economic or econometrics, as we call it, method, which is called as price elasticity, to help the customer identify which products they can tweak the prices for without incurring or without having a negative impact on their revenue. So in previous slides, we also talked about effective channel attribution. We talked about there are various customer touch points, but we don't know which touch point is the efficient touch point to acquire more customers. So this is another example of analysis that we did for this major retailer based out of UK. So the thought was, the use case or a business problem was that I'm selling various products via various customer touch points. You need to tell me what are the top 3 products that I'll be selling using using a specific or a combination of customer touch points to acquire more and more customers. And that is exactly what we did. You will see that we were clearly, so we use the simple correspondence analysis. You can make a note of it and you can Google it out. It's a pretty cool technique. So it's not a machine learning algorithm. It's just a simple data analytics technique. So what we did, we were able to show them that if they really want to increase sales related to pharmaceuticals, they should be doing a whole lot of advertisement at the physical location, which is at the drugstore. Whereas if they want to increase their sales related to game titles, game consoles, video games I'm referring to, they need to do a whole lot of advertisement on social media, because that has been the most favorable customer touch point based on the historic data. And similarly, for sales of vehicles, they need to do a whole lot of advertisement in newspaper. So it was as simple as this. So just think about it. What kind of power data and related methodologies and techniques gives you to make such kind of inferences and help organizations reap more benefits and be more profitable. Then this was financial analytics, okay? And this is not the exact output. This is just the proof of concept that you're looking at. And the ask was simple, okay? There's a whole lot of financial fraud that is happening, and it is costing billions and billions of dollars across the globe. It is not only happening in India, it is across the globe. As a matter of fact, outside India, the impact is even more higher, okay? Because our banking system is more regulated compared to the banking systems that we have outside India, especially in the developed nations. So the ask was pretty simple. If somebody calls us or if somebody contacts our bank, we should be able to identify if that particular transaction or customer is or may end up being a fraudster or a defaulter or whatever it is. So what we did, we scraped a whole lot of data from various sources like Siebel, looking at the transactions of that particular customer through various, banking portals and all. So we had all that information, and we created this particular output where the moment you input the name of the customer, it'll gonna give you some information stating whether there's a probability of this customer being a fraud or this order being a fraud, and you flag that particular customer. It connect you to the credit department, and they will help that customer to solve the credit related challenges. So how we did that? We used various machine learning algorithms, including neural nets. We used random forest and logistic regression primarily, and that's how we created the base algorithm. And then we created the API front end and back end. And this was another interesting one. So I don't know how many of you have heard about Azure ML Studio. Okay, Azure ML Studio is a no-code machine learning platform, and this is one of the most efficient machine learning platforms. Why I say that? Because the moment you create any machine learning solution, you have the option of deploying that machine learning solution into your Excel files by using a simple add-on, which is called as Azure ML add-on, which is available on Microsoft Excel store, okay, free of cost. So the idea was that we have bunch of employees, and based on the historic employee attrition details, we would want to tag potential employees, those who may end up leaving us in coming 3 or 4 months. So we created this solution for our HR team, where we created a system through which we can predict what all or who all are those employees, those who may end up leaving the organization. And we did this by using Azure ML Studio. You can clearly see that when I created a model that was readily available as web service, and then I'm consuming that web service through this add-in. So I included the input data, and then I mentioned where I want to see the output, and you will see that I can see the employee ID. And along with the employee ID, I see score and probabilities, which means that if it is a 0, it'll not going to attrite if it is 1. And then you see the probability of this particular employee leaving the organization. So it was as simple as this. And we handed over this solution, and the HR was all gaga about it. They really liked it. And as a matter of fact, till date, these guys are using this solution. And the solution was created in less than 1 day. So you can just think about it. When people say, oh, I cannot code, I may not be a fit for this industry, it's just a misconception. Okay. All you have to have is good understanding of statistics, good understanding of key mathematical processes. So this is for your personal use. Okay, this is a fun application. So these two applications, that is Teachable Machine, which is developed by Google, and Lobe by Microsoft, it helps you to create computer vision related solutions without writing even a single line of code. So just think about it. You want to, as a hobbyist, you want to create a solution whereby if somebody, start to work on your computer system, it should be able to recognize whether it is you or somebody else. So by using this particular application, all you have to do is you have to input your photographs from various angles along with other people's photographs, mentioning them as other class. And you just need to upload it, and you need to click on this button, which is called as train, and it will going to train your model in a way that you would be able to deploy it, and you'll be able to create a solution where your system will tell you whether it is you sitting on the system on your computer or somebody else. How cool it is, right? And similarly, Lobe is a desktop application. You need to install it, and then you will do a similar thing, and you'll be able to create some amazing computer vision solutions. Not only computer vision, it can also detect audio and can identify whether it is a drum or a guitar or what exactly it is, what kind of song you're playing, whether you're playing a Led Zeppelin or a Def Leppard or probably Lata Mangeshkar or Kishore Kumar. You can do all those kind of things. So that's pretty cool. Okay. And you can whenever you get time, you can just play around with this. So this brings us to the conclusion. Okay. You see that there are somewhere around about 5 to 6 points, but the only point that I'm going to make is one, you need not to worry about job, especially in the field of data analytics, data science. Okay, if you're good with your craft, then Job is not a problem. When I say good with your craft, it comes at a price. And that price is you really need to be committed. You really need to ensure that you complete your assignments. You really need to ensure that you're passionate about learning data science and machine learning, and you practice a lot. Because without practicing the concepts, you will not be able to understand them. And the best way to understand anything is to practice it over and over and over. Okay. So grit, perseverance, and commitment will gonna go a long way. So with that being said, I would once again like to congratulate you all and would like to wish you all the very best. And I hope you all achieve your dreams and all the best. So thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thank you so much for this insightful session. We have one question from one of our attendees. His name is Omkar.
Mm-hmm,
Sunita, if you could just check, he has mentioned, but there are cases when we don't have accurate data and we
mm-hmm,
have to create data from scratch. So
mm-hmm,
that will be like working on data engineering stuff. So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the data scientists don't have a brief idea of what that should we have the knowledge transfer.
Well, you see, data scientist, first of all, we need to understand uh, the definition of data scientist, okay? Because there are a couple of, so this one question has at least three questions in it, okay, first of all, which is fine. So data engineering is a very specific set of skills that you have to have. A data scientist is somebody who consumes the data or who consumes the data pipeline that has been created by data engineer, okay? There's a misconception that data scientist has 10 hands. Data scientists would be fit into the shoe of a data engineer, DevOps, MLOps, or probably data architecture or infra architecture architect. No, it is not the case. Now, when it comes to having data which is not good, if you remember during the slides, I said that you have to create a data acquisition strategy. There are concepts like GIGO, that is garbage in, garbage out. So you need to create those frameworks, you need to create those methodologies so that you're acquiring good data at the very onset of data acquisition. And those pipelines. So there's a concept of CI/CD, okay, continuous integration, continuous deployment. So it doesn't mean that once you have created a data pipeline, that's about it. You continue to augment your data pipeline. So all those logics, all those things are supposed to be done by data engineers, and there's a distinction in between a data scientist or a data engineer. And if you talk about knowledge transfer, fine, you can expect a data scientist to know a little bit about data engineering, but if you expect that you being a data scientist should also know everything about data engineering, I think that's not a right expectation, because data scientist is somebody who would be helping organization in creating machine learning solutions, not creating data pipelines. It's a different work altogether. So, I mean, that's what my answer is. So there has to be clear distinction. So,
Thank you so much, Anissa, for such an insightful session.
thank you.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone.
So let's move ahead with few of our success stories from the course. I will just present my screen. So these are some of our lockdown success stories. Our current learners and alumni have made career transitions. To name a few, from project manager at Tech Mahindra to AVP at JP Morgan Chase. His work experience was 9 years and the salary hike he received was 82%. The second one we have is like The second one we have is a senior project leader at ADP to senior data scientist at Salesforce. His work experience was 14 years and salary hike was 57%. The third we have is the data scientist at Fractal enterprise. He transitioned to senior data scientist at Fractal Enterprise. His working experience was 5 years with a salary hike of 50%. And there are many more addition to this. At Upgrad, these are the four things which we would share with you in upcoming session. The first one is the curriculum and content. The second is the learning platform and the student support system, goal orientation, and the alumni connect. So when we talk about the curriculum and content, 60 plus industry leaders with top-notch academic leaders and 100 plus instruction designers stand behind the content that you are about to learn in ML and AI. These are few of the instructors who have helped using curating the content. With this, I would hand over this session to Ms. Tejasvi Ravinder, who is the content strategist from the content team, who have actually worked on the courses and prepared the content. So over to you, Tejaswini.
Hi everyone. Hi Priya. Thanks for introducing me. Am I audible?
Yes, Tejaswini, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. So can you stop sharing the screen so that I can share my screen? Thank you. Yeah, do tell me when you can see my screen.
Your screen is visible. You can go ahead.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you have gone through the student handbook or journey roadmap yet, but I'll take you through the content that we have in totality and in a very brief manner about what all courses are there and how our entire modules are kind of divided into different electives in the later part of the structure. So at the initial part, we have prep content. So what do we mean by prep content? I'll get to the details in the later part. Then we have statistics and EDA, and then we have machine learning, and ML2 is an advanced machine learning. And then we have deep learning, and then we have natural language processing, and then we have three electives. This is MLOps plus advanced NLP, MLOps plus advanced DL, MLOps plus AI strategy, and then there is capstones. There is also an optional course that is given to every one of you, that is reinforcement learning. So this is an extra course that you're getting after you have completed the entire course from the of the EPGP. This entire content, this entire course is of 13 months as of now, and through this journey you will learn a lot of all the relevant skills that are required for becoming a data scientist or a machine learning engineer or an MLOps engineer. So this will give you an overall view, and also if you want to apply it, just apply it in your own company, if you're in a leadership position, and if you want to apply it in a strategic position, then there is also AI strategy for you. So let us go into each and every course and understand what it is. Okay, so before we go into stats and EDA, there is a preparatory content. So preparatory content is for you to understand Python and SQL and basics of mathematics, which is required to. It's a prerequisite for starting this course. So those are basic programming courses, programming modules that we have. So in that course, you might have if you have received it, then you might have seen Python and SQL courses, SQL modules, and if you see that each course is divided into further modules. Similarly, if you see the stats and EDA, exploratory data analysis course, it is divided into 6 different modules. First is exploratory data analysis, then there is Git and GitHub. So we are teaching Git and GitHub at the start of this course so that you start creating a repository at the start of this course, and you keep on whenever there is an assignment or an case study that you have created. So you keep on appending that into your repository, and so at the end of the course you'll have a proper GitHub repository where you can which you can share with the recruiters, which is highly recommended, that you keep on appending and keep on pushing all your assignments and case studies that you're going to do across this course into the GitHub repository, and use it for your benefit, for your portfolio enhancement. GitHub portfolio is one of the most sought out requirements nowadays in the tech industry, so it is highly recommended to do that. Then you can say there is an investment assignment, so it is investment in a finance company. We'll get to the details when you actually go into the course. So if you can check, there is an assignment or a case study or both in each of the courses. Okay, so if you check, there is an assignment and then there is a case study. So there are theory modules. If you see exploratory data analysis, Git and GitHub, inferential statistics and hypothesis testing, these are theoretical modules for you to understand. There'll be also coding demonstrations in this, but in the assignment and the case study, these are something that you need to submit to us, and this will be graded by the university. So this is how each and every course is divided into. Okay. Before I go ahead, are there any questions from your end? You can put it in the chat. How many weeks for this module? For stats and EDA, okay, we'll get to the cloud technologies in the next part. So for answering Shraddha, okay, so each module, if you check the exploratory data analysis, so it is not fixed if the module is 1 or 2 weeks. So it's either 1 or 2 weeks. So if I have to answer this question right now, each of this module, exploratory data analysis is 1 week, Git and GitHub is 1 week, investment assignment is 1 week, inferential statistics is 1 week, hypothesis testing is 1 week, and lending club case study is also 1 week. So this entire course is of 6 weeks. But there are instances where a module can also be of 2 weeks. So it's either 1 or 2 weeks. Do we have to complete it earlier? No, you don't have to complete it earlier. There is 3 weeks deadline for that. There'll be one assignment or case study in course. Shall we start going through this module before? It is recommended for you to go through a prep module before you go through the actual stats and EDA module. So it's basic programming is required, basics mathematics is required. So yes, there will be one, yes. There'll be one assignment or a case study in each of the course. Can we push every assignment or case study which we complete to GitHub? Yes, you can. So it is very recommended that you do. Will the assignment be given every week? No, not every week. Let's just say in 6 weeks you have to one assignment and one case study. What optional? So I would recommend Python is very necessary. SQL as of now is not very recommend. It is necessary, but as and when if you go through the course, you'll understand SQL is an optional resource, and that's why we are given it as option to complete the assignment before going to the next module. Yes. How many months or weeks for the entire course? It's very dependent. I cannot really tell you right now. As I just said, this is of 6 weeks, but each and every course will change, so it keeps on changing.
Hi,
We'll have a journey handbook where everything is mentioned about the same, about how many weeks are there per each course, how many, um, what all assignments and everything. And I would definitely recommend for everyone to go through that handbook to understand and plan your course ahead before, so that you have ample of time to complete the assignment. Yeah, Matt.
Tejaswini, sorry to interrupt you. I would just help them out with their queries
Okay.
quickly. So, firstly, with the timeline of the course, I have already shared a course calendar with you. The timeline can vary. A particular course has n number of modules. So, the n states 5 to 6 modules in that course. Each module is eventually like scheduled for a period of 1 week. However, it can vary on the hours of the content required. So for example, if we had a huge number of content in that module, then the module can be scheduled for a period of 2 weeks. Otherwise, it will be for 1 week. The major questions which are coming up for assignments and case studies. So we have one assignment or one case study on one particular course. So likewise, we saw that there are 7 different courses. So we'll have either an assignment or either a case study in each of the course. Moving ahead to the pre-preparatory question. So the pre-preparatory course is an additional content provided to you. However, it's really important for you to go through that because it's the prerequisite related to your course. Since Python language being used throughout your assignments and case study, it's mandatory for you to go through the pre-prep course. There was one question where one of you has asked that should I go ahead through the EDA module before the prep course? So there's still time given to you to complete your pre-preparatory course. So I would suggest you once you complete your pre-preparatory course and then you start with your EDA modules, because if you directly jump to EDA, it will be difficult for you to cope up in future with your modules and relatively understanding the Python coding and the pre-preparatory section. Moving ahead to this, there was one more question that how many months, weeks for entire course. So similarly, since module can vary from 2 weeks to 1 week, the courses can also vary from 1 month to 1.5 months. I'm sharing you a detailed calendar once again on the chat section. The same calendar has been already shared with you into your program live email. So that calendar will help you to understand from the start date, which is 30th November, until the last day of the course when you will be submitting your capstone project. Anything with any queries regards to the course detailing tenure, I would request you to keep these questions there. We will take it towards the end of the course. Meanwhile, Tejaswini will just take you through the content related technical things. Okay. Thank you. Tejaswini, you can go ahead with the session.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Priya. Okay, so once you have done with statistics and EDA as a course, let's go to the next course, which is machine learning 1. So if you check, there is first module is linear regression, and there is an assignment on linear regression. There is logistic regression, naive Bayes, and model selection. So if you see, there is also one assignment in this course. And as I said, please push all the, and once you go through the Git module, you understand how to push and how to create your proper repository, how to create your portfolio, and there is also GitHub website that you can create. So everything is taught to you in that module at the start. So please keep on pushing all the assignments and the code demonstration that you're going to do in this course as well. So let me go back to the fact that assignment linear regression, right? So if I have to tell you that there is this one thing assignment that you're going to submit, but if you actually, when you're going to the linear regression, that does not mean there is only theory about linear regression. There is also a code demonstration, an industrial code demonstration that is there in linear regression. So you understand how to also, we're also teaching you how to code as well. And then you'll be asked to submit an assignment. Similarly, for all the modules that are there, when I say theoretical, it also means there is a code demonstration, which has, but when I say theoretical, it means that there is no submission that is required from your end. Okay. So, no, and as a blended learning experience that we are bringing in, most of our learning experience will be through academic from our professors, but also through, industrial experts. So we are trying to bring in as much as industry flavor that is there for these courses, and that's why many of our experts will also be from industry, and so that you understand how, how it is actually applicable, because these are very uh, skills that requires an application, not just theoretical knowledge. So we are bringing in a lot of industry experts for you, for understanding this concepts in much more application oriented way. Okay, so if you go to the next course, then we have machine learning 2, which is an advanced machine learning. There we have advanced regression. We have an assignment on advanced regression, support vector machine. So there are also sometimes when you come to a course, there are also optional content that is given. So what do we mean by optional? So in this, let's just say whatever is required for you to complete the case study or the assignment, that is what we have given you as a compulsory or mandatory course. But there are some learners who want to learn over and above that is there in the assignment or the case study, and that's why there will be optional content as well when you go on through the course, and it is recommended for you to go through the optional content as well and plan your courses accordingly. So these are not mandatory and these are not timed as such, but you can do it as and when, however you want to pursue, whenever you have time, the optional content. Okay, so there is up to support vector machines. There's tree models. There's model selection. There's boosting, unsupervised clustering, and PCA, and then there is a telecom and case study. So all these case studies and assignments are industry oriented case studies. So highly recommended that you go through all of this. Then let's go to the next course, that is DL. So as you saw that machine learning 2, right? It is a bigger course. It is 1.5 or around 1.5 months. So it depends that there is no fixed time to each of the course, but yeah, this is how it's mostly, as Priya said, it's 1 to 1.5 months. It varies. Okay. And in DL, there is intro to neural networks. Then we have CNN. We have assignment on it. There is practical considerations about how to after you have completed that. Then there is RNN. Then there is DL case study. Okay. So DL case study, it's a very amazing case study on gesture recognition, and you'll learn a lot about how different electronics use gestures and how to detect different gestures. So there are pretty amazing case studies that you're going to do, and it is highly recommended that you plan your case studies as well. There is one major recommendation that I would do. Do not start your case study at the start. So let's just say there is a 2-week deadline. Do not start it at the end, because then there is no, it is very difficult for you to complete as well, and there is no proper learning in that sense. So it is highly recommended that you start from the start, so that there are support sessions whenever there is a case study. There is also a parallel support session for the case study or an assignment, so you can ask your doubts with the live session coaches that are who are coming, and then you can also ask your doubts in the TAs that are there. And so it is very highly recommended that you start at the beginning of the week whenever it is getting launched, and not at the end when there is a deadline, especially for the case studies and assignments. I would also recommend for the same for all the theoretical modules as well. But for especially for case studies and assignment, it is very recommended that you plan it in the way that there is no rush at the end, and you use all the resources that are available for you through the live mode. That is the major reason that upgrad brings the live blended experience. So I would definitely recommend you if to use all the resources that are available for you. And then there is NLP, natural language processing. This is one of the most thought out skills right now in the industry. So there is a lexical processing, there is syntactic processing, there is assignment and syntactic processing, and there is semantic processing, and then there is case study on this entire whatever you have learned. So let's just say there is an assignment here, right? So the assignment will majorly contain either this or this modules theory, right? And the case study that is at the end will mostly be a blend of all the concepts that has been taught in the course. So you will definitely learn a lot if you complete the case study in a very diligent manner. Okay. So there is a very big automatic in the case study here. We are doing automatic ticket classification here, which is also very relevant and very sort out use case in the NLP industry. So do complete it and do add it to your portfolio. Okay. Then we let's move on to the electives. Okay. So electives, I would say, is the most interesting part of this course and most difficult part of this course as well. But once if you do it and if you get through this, there is like you'll get an amazing edge over a lot of people in the industry. So as nowadays, the fact is a lot of people know about machine learning, a lot of people know about even deep learning and natural language processing. But if you want to get that edge, you should also understand the advanced concepts that are there in the industry, and you get the edge over everyone who in for the recruiter especially. And this course brings you that edge, and I would definitely, although as I said, this is a difficult course, so the planning is very required from your end, very much required. But once you complete it, you'll be having such an amazing knowledge for getting an edge over everyone. Okay. So the first part, as I said, there is a common part which is an MLOps for each of the elective. So MLOps, although there is a, it is catered according to if you're DL, if you're in the NLP or DL or strategy or AI strategy. So in MLOps, so what you learn is you learn CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. You learn monitoring as well. You learn about experiment tracking. You learn about how a product life cycle is integrated into an ML life cycle as well. So all the concepts that are there to actually take a model and deploy it at the end from the start, from the experiment tracking and all the open source tools that are there in the market. Let me get to the tools that are there, right? So there is MLflow, weights and biases. Actually, there are more tools to it. There is also Airflow that we are using. There is Streamlit that we are using. And there is also PyCaret that we're using in the MLOps for all the open source tools that are there. Okay, in the MLOps segment. Why we have chosen for the initial part of the course, there is an open source part. So why we have chosen open source, like let's go into that. So most of the people in the industry, or like the people who enter into this industry, think that MLOps is you need to learn a tool, and it's about a tool, it's about some a cloud or a this tool or that tool, but it is majorly about the process that is there. So let's just say how to track your experiment, or how to monitor your model, how to implement a CI/CD into a system, and these are like major processes that are required, and how you will actually implement that in the entire in your company, right? The process that is there. The process is the most important part of MLOps. And please do keep in mind that MLOps is a process, is a practice that is not a tool, or because each of the tools similar, all the tools kind of do the similar work. So let's just take Airflow, for example, right? Airflow, and there is also Amazon SageMaker or a Google Vertex AI tool. They do a similar kind of work, but it does not really matter that which, if you know one tool, the other tool is very easy to learn. It's not a very difficult task to learn another tool, right? If so, it's about not, but the process is something that you have to keep in mind, that why we are doing it, how we are doing it, and all. So for the reason that we're going through an open source route in the initial part is because you'll understand the process in more depth. The cloud tools that are there, it's a very black box model, and it is very, you'll not understand the process that are going on. So that's why once you have gone through the open source ones in the initial part of the course, okay, where you'll be productionizing a ML model. Okay, then you'll move on to the next part of the course, where that's for the first elective, this is advanced NLP, where you'll talk about here we are in the first part, we are doing open source and a classical machine learning, the machine learning that is linear regression, or the advanced regression models that are there. But in the next part of the course, there is an advanced NLP, which then bifurcates into 3 different parts. One is advanced NLP, where you learn different advanced concepts in NLP as well, which is attention transformers, BERT, and GPT. Similarly, in advanced DL, you learn about object detection, YOLO, assistant, and mask RCNN. And in AI strategy, learn how to strategize your AI from a very high level, from a managerial perspective. Right? If you are in any leadership position, this is one of the elective that will definitely be helpful for you. Okay. So in advanced NLP, okay, it's not that we have just talked about open source tools, as I said in the initial part. We have also inculcated one of the cloud tools as well, because cloud is also one of the sort out requirement in the industry. That's why we have we have included AWS in the course. So after you have done your advanced NLP, so next part is how you will productionize it using an AWS tool now. AWS, and similarly, if you have done an DL part, now you will see how to productionize a DL model in AWS. Okay. So AWS is a cloud technology that we are using in our course. So why we have done cloud after we have done open source is because, as I said, if you have done just cloud, it will be a black box. You'll not have understood the processes, and that is why we have put cloud later. And and one of the cloud technologies definitely been used here. So you'll also learn about a cloud which you can put it in your portfolio. Okay, so this completes the elective part of the course. Let me just pause here for 2 minutes, and if you have any doubts regarding the electives, can you just paste it on the chat? After choosing any one of the electives, yes, you'll get, after choosing one of the electives, after you've completed your elective, you'll get access to all the electives later. Okay, for the prep content, there are no live sessions. This is the live session starts from statistics course. Okay. So there is a boot camp which goes on parallelly when you are doing the, okay. So there is a boot camp that goes on when you're doing your prep content. So it's not, it is a live session, but yeah, so it is called a boot camp. So all the queries regarding the due dates and the calendars, I think Priya, you can take this up. But if you have any queries regarding technical parts, then I could answer.
Sure, Tejaswini, I'll take the rest of the queries post the content session.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we select AI strategy as an elective, do we use AWS too? No, we do not use AWS. But you'll definitely get access to AWS afterwards, AWS content afterwards. So I think Priya will check if will have a live session or not and get back to you, right?
Yes. Muskan, I'll just let you know.
So AI strategy for data architecture. Okay. What do you mean by data architecture? So let's just say uh, there are multiple use cases. Let's say hundreds of use cases a big company kind of is working on. So you require to create a data architecture, a centralized data architecture where everything is at one place, right? So that requires a strategic point of view, and that's why a strategic point of view, because let's say one use case that you have, the use case that you are pre-processing data in one of the use case can be used in another use case. Or similarly, how to reduce a computational power, how to reduce the cost in totality. So that requires a financial aspects to it as well. So that's why there are strategies from the leadership positions that is required. Can we get knowledge or access to Google Cloud? Or access, we are not providing access to it. But knowledge is definitely something uh, you can go through in the modules. So there'll be a elective selection session and a week. So they'll float forms about before the elective starts, and you will get to select the sessions. Mostly Keras is used for DL, and NLP we are using Spacey, Gensim right now, and also Hugging Face. Yeah, so the details right now, the presentation does not provide much details, but as I said, if you can actually go through the curriculum journey handbooks, you'll get much more detail into each and every course. Do you use MATLAB for any module? No. MATLAB maybe in optional modules, but not in any mandatory modules. So on which basis do you select? Do you suggest we select the electives? So it is, you don't have to select the electives at this point right now. You will be so you'll be getting time 3 weeks before the electives to decide on that. So I would suggest that once you go through the course, you understand how which is the most interesting part for you, and let's just say if you want to go to DL, if you have more interest in that or more interest in NLP, as and when you progress, that is when it will be better for you to make that decision. That's why we have kept the elective selection session later. But also it depends upon what is the goal that you have in your mind, right? And so there'll be sessions and there'll be guidance for you on which there'll be live sessions where the coach will come and also suggest you on which career path you are on, which you and which you should select. BI tool is covered in any of the module. If so, which one? visualization tools. I'm not sure if let me get back to you if I can get back to you through Priya about the BI tools. Sorry, Aman, I do not have the answer for that right now.
Tejaswini, I'll help them with regards to that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just move on to the next part. Okay.
Sure, Tejaswini.
Okay. So now we have completed our course till here about the electives. Okay, so next we go to the capstone, which is the the major the major submission that you will be doing from this course, right? So this extends for 3 weeks now, and you'll be getting 3 weeks to complete this entire capstone. There'll be support sessions and the all the instructions that is required for you to complete the course is given in this capstone. There are 6 different capstones you can choose from the capstone side, whichever suits you. Also, as there's a if you go through this journey handbook, you'll see which all 6 different capstones are there. There is sales forecasting, there is I think there is then a DL case study. There is I for blind for DL as well, and there is NLP based one, which is sentiment classification. Then there are recommendation engines as well. So all the relevant sort out skills that are there in the industry is included in the capstones. You might have seen that capstones are not majorly based on advanced concepts that we taught in the electives here. It is to keep because the fact that it is very difficult to complete that entire advanced learning in such a crunched manner, and that's why we have kept it from the basic NLP and basic DL and basic machine learning parts of the course, and it will be easier for you to also complete the entire capstone. And not that it's not necessary or it's not it's majorly because most of the use cases that are out in the industry, right, actual industry, they do use classical machine, they do use basic DL and basic NLP for their use cases at this present point of time, right? So that is one of the uh, uh, actual requirement in the industry. And once you have the capstone, once you have submitted it, this will be a very great portfolio add to your GitHub repository for sure, and also create a website from the GitHub as well. And then this will be very useful for the recruitment and very useful for transitioning and very useful for your professional confidence as well. So all this capstone, 6 different capstones, and there you'll be given time for choosing the capstones. And once you have completed one of the capstones, you'll get access to all the other capstones and the solutions for the same. So with this, we end the content part of the course, right? We majorly work with professors and industry experts to design, and we closely work with them to design this content, and it is with utmost care from their end and how it is created and how it is designed. So we really hope that you enjoy the course and you extract as much as resources and as much as knowledge that you can get from the course. So I'll stop the sharing. I'll just wait for 2 minutes, and if there are any other questions, I'll answer.
Thank you so much, Tejaswini. In case if anyone has any questions, I would request you to share it on Q&A section or chat section.
Okay.
If there are any questions with related to course timelines or course structure, we will take it towards the end of the course. So I think that's it, Tejaswini. There are no more questions with related to content. If there are any questions, we'll definitely take it in upcoming sessions. We also have Snehal Kaushik, who is from our careers and outcome teams. So I would request Snehal to take this session ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Most
Great.
welcome.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible clearly.
Yes, you're clearly audible. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. First of all, a very, very good morning to everyone. My name is Snehil Kaushik. I'm part of the career outcomes team, the career services team, and I am part of a high performance career coaching team here at Upgrad. So, what we do here in the career services, what this career coaching is all about, what this career phase is all about, I'm just going to share you my screen and share a presentation and then walk you through. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Snehal, your screen is
Perfect.
visible. Please go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. Great. So basically, what happens is whenever you do a course from Upgrad and this course that you're doing from Upgrad, once it gets over, you enter a career phase. The career phase is a 6 month long journey that Upgrad provides you, and they provide you with excellent world class support system in order for you to achieve your goals and outcomes. Now, in this career phase, there are multiple things that happen, and the career phase is um, is not only for a job change that many people think. It covers a lot of other things as well. What they are, we'll cover in these slides. First of all, what Upgrad has done is they've come up with this concept of high performance career coaching. What we do in this high performance career coaching is help people and learners who have completed this course achieve their goals and objectives. Now, their goals and objectives can be different, it can vary from person to person. For someone, they have done this course in order to get a better job, in order to maybe change their company. For some, it might be to get a job to get a better salary hike. For some, it might be to get an internal promotion within their company. They like their company, they don't want to switch. For some people, it might be just to gain some knowledge and perform better at their role. And for some people, it might be to maybe start their own thing, start their own business, or they already have their own business and they want to improve it, they want to better it. For some people, they might be at a senior level, or even who are starting off, they want to build a personal brand, they want to establish themselves as industry experts in the industry. Whatever their goals, whatever their objectives are, the career coaching team is equipped to help you achieve those things. How do we do that? Now, in this career phase of dedicated 6 months that you get after your program gets over, you are assigned a career coach on a one-on-one basis. That career coach, all of our career coaches are trained along the guidelines of the International Coaching Federation. So one of them will be assigned to you on a one-on-one basis. A one-on-one basis meaning the interactions will always be on a one-on-one basis with the career coach. And the career coach is then going to help you achieve your goal, achieve your objective. Now, what happens? What is the general process? Basically, when your course gets completed, you have to first of all clear the course. You have to complete the course compulsorily. If you don't complete the course, if you don't clear the course, you are not eligible for the career services. Once you complete the course, a coach will be getting in touch with you through email, through messages, through phone calls, and then the introductory call happens. We call it the onboarding call, in which the career coach will get in touch with you for a first brief introductory call and understand what your goal is, what your objective is, what why have you done the course, and what are you trying to achieve. Once that is established, whatever that goal is, whatever that objective is, it could be even as simple as something, or even as complex as something like changing your behavior or developing certain new habits or developing leadership skills in order to do better at your role. So all of these things are taken care by the career coach. You will be in touch with your career coach for the next 6 months, either through phone calls, either through WhatsApp messages, or through live video sessions like we are having. And then the career coach will create a plan for you depending on your goal, and then step by step it will be followed. Now, what happens initially? For anyone who's done the course, the first thing that a career coach does is create a plan, that is a career evaluation and action plan or an individual development plan. We can call it anything. What this plan enables us to do is understand deep, it's like a deep insight into what the learner is looking for in terms of their long term goals in career, in terms of their medium term and short term goals in their careers, and what are some of the barriers they face, what are some of the areas of development that we can work on, and how to work on those things. So it's a very, very introspective and very interactive session that happens, and it might extend to 2 sessions or 3 sessions till the time this plan is created, so that a self analysis is done with the help of the coach for the learner, who can understand, okay, this is what my career looks like, this is the path that I want to take, this is the structure. In this, there is a lot of skill mapping that is done, a lot of SWOT analysis is done, and then finally an action plan is created with deadlines and timelines. The same goes for your individual development plan. This plan is again like a mini version of your career evaluation and action plan. And this is majority of the time used by people or learners to get internal promotions within their company. If you want to accelerate your career within your company, if maybe in the next position, according to your company, you might reach there 5 years later, but you want to reach there 3 years, within 3 years, you can do that. How you do that? If you have a correct plan in place, if you know what you have to do, how you have to do, that is what this planning helps you to do. Once this planning is done, now let's say for someone who wants to go for a job change, what happens? The very next step that we do, 1 second. Yes, the very next step is that is done is, once your evaluation is done, we understand what the gaps are, where you want to reach. Let's say you want to get a job in a better company with a higher package, you want a 50% hike, 100% hike, whatever you have in mind, that goal you of yours, the career coach starts working on that plan with you. So first of all, if you want to do a job change, get a better hike, get a better company, you need to start working on your profile. So the career coach helps you build a strong profile. By profile, I mean both your resume and LinkedIn profile. We have our own career center, the job portal of Upgrad, which you have lifelong access to. In that job portal, you get access to an AI enabled resume builder, where you can upload your resume, create a new resume, get it scored by the software itself, understand what are some of the gaps in your resume and how you can make it better. So you have a tool already there in the career center. You also have a LinkedIn profile builder. You also have a cover letter builder within that job portal itself. But how do you utilize these tools for the maximum benefit? The career coach is going to help you. The career coach is going to guide you on what are the basic principles of your resume, how to improve it. Because nowadays, when you apply to companies or through job portals, your resume will be scanned by a software. We call it application tracking system. So how do you get a high score on the ATS is what the career coach will help you do. The career coach then will proceed to help you build a strong LinkedIn profile. Why LinkedIn profile? Because having a strong network online, having a strong personal brand online will get you to places where you might not ordinarily get. Usually, you will not be able to access those doors, those opportunities, if you don't have that sort of a strong network and personal brand. So, it is the need of the hour for everyone to be active on the networking side of things and building that personal brand going ahead. Even if you want to become an industry expert in this field, maybe 5-10 years down the line, or you are already in that position having 10-15 years of experience and you now want to establish yourself as an expert, you need to build that brand, and that is where the career coach steps in and helps you do that. Once all of these things are done, the career coach is going to forward your profile to the Upgrad placement team. And you have the job portal itself. You can also apply directly. The career coach will also forward your profile to the career coach. Once all of that is done, you move on to the interview stage. We call them just-in-time mock interview preparation. For that, the career coach will help you with the soft skills part of the interview. For you to clear the interview, there are always two aspects to it, right? One is your technical knowledge, your skill set. The other is your soft skills, your personality. what is your problem solving approach, what is your attitude, aptitude, and things like that. So in that, the career coach will arrange mock interview calls for you with industry experts. Who are industry experts? People having 15-20 years of experience in the industry, having overall very sound technical knowledge, and who are already working in top companies in top positions. They are working as mentors on an ad hoc basis with Upgrad. So you get access to all of these mentors, these industry experts, and you can connect with them for mock interview sessions. You can take as many calls as you want in the career phase with as many mentors as you want. Right. So if there are 3 rounds of interviews for your job and you want to take a mock interview for all the 3 rounds, you have that option to do that. It's just that you need to give a time frame of 24 to 48 hours to schedule that interview. Right. So the mock interview happens. The profile is built, the placement team helps you apply, and after all of those things you can move on to the salary negotiation stage, again where the career coach can help you negotiate a salary in a much better way. This is about the job process. Similarly, you have your internal promotion process. I showed you the IDP. The IDP helps you build a strong a portfolio within the company and share it and get more visibility. Similarly, you want to establish yourself as an industry expert, you want to start your own business, you get access to the huge alumni pool of Upgrad as well in the career phase, and you can connect with people who might already be doing something like that, or who would have been there, done that. So you get access to all of these people, all of these networks in the career phase, and they are going to, all of this support system is going to help you achieve your goals and objectives. Right? This is how the job portal looks like. Right? And you can select whatever you want to select, what kind of jobs you want to select, and then the placement team helps you in that. Right? So that is what happens in the career phase. There is also an executive track of career coaching that we have started recently. What this executive track is basically where somebody who does not want to do a job change, does not want a promotion, is happy where they are, but they want to work on certain things. For example, maybe they want to manage time better, maybe they want to learn some leadership skills, maybe they are facing some challenges in terms of certain habits that come into their way of progressing in their career. So those deep insightful conversations are also possible with experts, people who are certified by International Coaching Federation, so that you can deep dive into your mind, understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how do you eliminate the part which you don't like, which you want to remove, and then how do you move ahead. So that is also possible in the executive track of career coaching. So there are 2 tracks, so you can decide which one to go for depending on your needs. Right? So any questions, any doubts so far on the career coaching part of it, or the career phase?
Uh, Thank you, Snehal, for such an insightful session. So we have Professor Sridhar with us. I would like to welcome Professor Sridhar to give you insightful on how exactly the course curriculum and how exactly the university policies are. He'll help us understand everything in detail. So he's the professor at the Central for IT and Public Policy at the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, India. He's the author. He is the author of 2 books published by Oxford University Press. So I would like you to go ahead and share your points with us.
Thank you, Priya, I guess. Yeah, thank you very much. And on behalf of the IIT Bangalore, I welcome all of you to this particular executive postgraduate program in AIML. We are the academic partner for this particular program, and we, along with Upgrad, have been offering this for the last 6 years or so. It's one of the flagship program, and therefore, definitely congratulations to all of you for having successfully enrolled into this particular program. So this is going to be an 11 months journey, and I'm sure that you will enjoy each and every minute of it. AI ML is becoming the norm today, right? Due to digitization and due to the way in which data is being collected by data fiduciaries, internet companies, government services. There's a lot of data which is available, which forms the basis for any AI ML methodologies. So you are into this exciting journey, and I welcome all of you. So I'll just take you through some of the guidelines which are required for you through this particular journey. So Priya, I think, right? If I'm correct, who's the
Yes,
host?
yes, Professor.
Yeah, Priya. Yeah. So can you please throw the slide on evaluations, please?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I think subject matter experts would have discussed about the different topics that you'll be doing. We are constantly revising the curriculum of AI/ML program so that it is in tune with the industry expectations. Of course, there is a lot of theory based on which the tools and methodologies have been developed. So it will be ground up, meaning that you will learn all the principles that are required for you to apply the tools and techniques to real world problems. Right? So that is the way in which we have designed this course. This course has something called as continuous evaluation process. So which means that you will be evaluated at each and every step of this particular program. So in general, the program is divided into modules, 6 to 7 modules, the last one being the capstone project. And then the program is divided into courses, 6 to 7 courses, and each course is divided into modules. So it's at the module level that you will be getting the video lessons as well as the live sessions for this particular program. There are evaluation components, multiple choice questions, exams, case studies, assignments, which will be present during the each and every module, right? So it's very important that you adhere to the timelines as much as possible. Right. So, there are some thresholds that you need to satisfy for graduation from this particular program. Am I being visible? Is that okay? Right. Right. So, okay. So, the minimum requirement is that 25% of the course grade is required for passing any course. So, which means that in any of these 6 to 7 courses, the passing criteria is 25%. Apart from that, there is also a CGPA requirement of 2.4. So 2.4 minimum CGPA is required to successfully graduate from this particular program. So Priya, if you're able to bring it up, it will be good. The slide.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. I'm really sorry. I'm facing some issue. I'll just share my screen. Just give me a moment.
Yeah. So 2.4 CGPA is required so that you can successfully graduate from this particular program. Hope to see all of you in the next graduation ceremony at IIT Bangalore. We have a beautiful auditorium in which many of your seniors also graduated from this particular program. The second thing is that, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Screen is
able to see.
No? Yeah,
yes,
thank
yes,
you.
The important thing is that the number of hours, time management is very critical for you. I know that you are all working professionals. Most of you are working professionals. So you have moved to the slide. Yeah. So you're all working professionals. You have your personal commitments, professional commitments. So do please take time for this particular course. Right? Set aside roughly 14 to 15 hours per week for this particular program, because there will be video lessons which you'll have to listen. There will be live sessions, especially during the weekends. By subject matter experts as well as to faculty. You also require some time to read through the material that is given. So do effective time management so that you can spend 14 to 15 hours in this particular program. So for those of you who do not have the adequate background, you have to put in the required effort in order to successfully complete this particular program. So that is a message from me. The other thing is that cohort. I see a cohort of about 34 logged in today, maybe about 40 to 50. This cohort has to move together. So which means that it is not that one person runs away with the gold medal and the others are in the very low CGPA rank. No, we want all of you to be together. We want all of you to be together and then graduate, right? So it is very important that the cohort moves together. The other important aspect of this particular program, the previous one, Priya. So the other important aspect of this particular program is that the deadlines are sacrosanct. Please make sure that you adhere to the deadlines as much as possible. See, it is quite possible that we have certain leeway in order to give you a little bit of flexibility, but it is a continuous evaluation process. So which means that if you miss an assignment, then you are likely to be falling behind the cohort. So that is one of the important aspects of this particular program. The other things I'll just mention about plagiarism. I don't know whether you have the slide on plagiarism, Priya. Otherwise, I'll just explain it. So plagiarism is something, if you're not able to do an assignment, you submit the assignment that have been done by your peers as your own, or you get your friend to do your assignment and then submit it as your own. So if it is not there, it's okay, no problem. So this is called plagiarism. We have, for example, Upgrad has developed a lot of tools in order to detect plagiarism when you submit an assignment. So do not, my just friendly advice is that do your due diligence, do your work by yourself, right? It is quite possible that in some of the assignments, it may be hard, you may not be able to crack it, but that's okay, right? So we have, as is shown in the slide as well as by the others, there are a lot of tutors, mentors, there are doubt clearing sessions by IIITB faculty, so that you can always catch up, right? So do not use the shortcut, right? I always tell that, in Olympics, right? So if you're, there is the Sifa Hassan of Netherlands in Tokyo Olympics in 1,500 meters. She was running and she was supposed to be the gold medal favorite. In the heats, she fell down in the first lap, right? But she didn't give up. She got up, ran, and came first in the heats and went on to win the silver medal in 1,500 meters. That should be the spirit, right? So it is quite possible that you may have some problems, but don't worry about it. We will solve it. But do your due diligence and make sure that you do all the evaluations by assessments by yourself, right? The other important comment is that KYC document. So we have admitted you based upon certain criteria, certain eligibility criteria. So we require proof of all these eligibility criteria so that you can seamlessly go through the program. So there is a deadline which we and others will explain. It's all there in your handbook. So please make sure that all the KYC documents are submitted so that IIITB can go through it, clear it, so that you can go through the program seamlessly. Right. So, and another important thing that I want to tell you during the live sessions, right, especially, faculty and subject matter experts take off their personal time. In fact, I have a class today for the previous AIML batch at 8 to 10 p.m. today. So we all take time for the better cause, right? So in the live sessions, please adhere to academic conduct because, in online, it is very difficult to judge who is listening, who is not listening, and things like that. So please make sure that the faculty members are not distracted and that you get the maximum out of the live sessions that will be in progress. So that's more or less from me. And once again, welcome all of you to this particular program. And I'm sure that you will enjoy it and wish you all the very best. Right? I'm sure that you have taken the right decision to upskill yourself and you will hear the latest in AIML in this particular program. Wish you all the very best. So over to you, Priya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Sridhar. Yeah. Have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So in case now we'll take you through how exactly the learning platform is, or how exactly you are going to connect with your Upgrad buddy for any of your queries. And I'm sure there will be a lot of questions each one of you would have. So we'll go through those quick Q&As as well. Firstly, I would just quickly help you understand about the student support. So your upgrad buddy, who is me, Priya, my name is Priya. So I am going to be there to help you out throughout your course tenure. So this 12 months with triple ITB or maybe 18 months with triple ITB and masters in LGMU, I'm the one who's going to guide you, help you plan your work accordingly. So like very important question, how you all are going to reach out to me is like you have a chatbot or a buddy option on the learn.upgrad.com platform. So I would request you that in case if you want to connect with me, please let the chatbot know that you want to connect with your upgrad buddy. If there are any learning queries which are very basic one, even the chatbot buddy option can help you out with the answers to it. The second is like student support team. So we have a student support team apart from me. So in case if I'm not available, if there's anything, we don't want you to wait for a resolution from my end to come a bit delayed due to any concerns. That's the reason we have a student support team available for 7 days in a week. So that's through the chatbot, or you can drop an email to studentsupport@upgrad.com. Thirdly is the Telegram channel. Post 17th of December, I would be creating a Telegram channel and a link would be sent to you all on your emails to join that channel. Basically, it will be an admin rights channel where each and everything important with regards to your course will be published. So maybe the due date to complete a module, maybe any kind of PPTs you want, or if there's a live session over the weekend, it will be notified to you on the Telegram channel. That's been one part of the communication. However, the actual part of the live session communication will reach to you on your register email ID. Secondly, register email ID and event will be shoot. The second thing is like we will be booking your calendars for the same. So if in case if you want to know if there is a session on a particular day, you will get to see that session on your calendar, or an email will be shoot to your email. Also, I would like to add here, there will be like since the session is over a Saturday or a Sunday, in that week, Wednesday itself, you will get to know which session is being scheduled over the weekend. So you can plan your things accordingly. I also wanted to add up here that it's not necessary that every Saturday or a Sunday, both the days you will have a session. It is a possibility that you either have a session or a session on a Sunday or on a Saturday. In case by any chance, if you miss any live session, please don't worry, you will be provided with a recorded link for the same. The third is the academic planner, which is one-stop shop for all. On your learn.upgrad.com, once you start with your Stats Essential course from 15th December onwards, you will see that there's an academic planner. So this academic planner helps you understand day-wise, week-wise schedule for you. If you wanted to understand today's Saturday, so it'll let you know which sessions are scheduled for you on Saturday, which module is important for you to complete by that particular day or by that particular week. So that's going to help you in a way. Then we'll quickly go to accelerated career growth. We had a great session by Snehal, who helped you out understand how exactly this career is going to take place, or what exactly other things, how are we going to help you with your career transition, maybe internal transition, or maybe you are looking out for another organization. So basically, we'll help you with regards to all of these, I can say, help needed or any concerns which you have with regards to same. The only thing is like I would suggest everyone, if you have anything to discuss, reach back to us, then only we'll be able to come ahead and help you out with the same. Improve proficiency, confidence, will be able to lead conversation, write blogs or papers, able to independently apply new learning. So how are you going to do all of these things is in a way, at Upgrad, you have a lot of case studies and assignments to be done. So in those case studies and assignments, you're going to be connecting with the other people, the other colleagues of yours in this cohort, because we'll be having group activities happening. Now, how exactly these group activities will be happening, we'll let you know as in we move ahead with the course. So you are going to inbuild all of these qualities as well, although and cherry on the cake about then going through the content and reading through your content and understanding and getting more insights on ML and AI. Get certified by upgrad at a reputed university has made me more employable. Definitely, these are some things which you are going to earn post you complete this course, because you would be getting a degree certificate by triple ITB. Useful while applying for higher education in case of immigration. The executive PG program in machine learning and AIs and WES verification. So in case if you want to apply for an PR for Canada or any other foreign countries, this is applicable course for you. If you want to get more insights on this, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll help you out with the same. Personalized outcome plannings. When we say personalized outcome plannings, we have dedicated one-on-one high performance coaches who will help you to achieve your outcomes. So in this course, we have a segment which we call SO. I'll briefly explain you how this career service works. There are two sort of career services. The one which Snehal explained you is the post-program career service. Okay, so post-program, there's a 6-month full-fledged career services which will help you to understand all of these concepts. Whereas in within the course, when you're going through the course, there are a lot of things which will be helping you out. So one of which is one-on-one high-performance coaches that is termed as long-term mentorship at upgrad. So when we say long-term mentorship, we'll be having one-on-one industrial expert calls for you all, where you will be discussing a lot of your insights in transition to ML and AI domain. So I can put it in a way that, for example, I'm a person who is with 2 years experience into a software engineer. So basically, I would have a lot of questions with regards to my transition, that how exactly I'm going to transition to maybe a data analyst profile, to a data engineer profile. And if that profile is what I am looking out as my outcome, how I'm going to achieve that, what skill sets are needed to achieve that, and how I'm going to practice on those skill sets. So these kind of questions are much more to come when we think about a transition. And these one-on-one long mentorship calls will definitely help you to get all of these queries clear. The second one we have is mock and just-in-time interviews. So mock and just-in-time interviews are a thing where, like even Snehal explained, it's being provided to you when you are into the career phase. However, in case if you come across any interview process within the course, and if you need any additional help to have in JIT interviews, you can definitely reach out to me. I'll help you out with the same. We have the third thing, which is industry readiness assignment test. So these are a kind of relevant interview questions test which we will be having within the course itself, which will help you to prepare for your aptitude test. We have a lot of hackathons and hiring drives takes place. We have a lot of elevate programs which takes place. You will be notified about all of these things on your register email ID with upgrad. So we have workshops and webinars on specific career related topics. So we make sure that we get along with a lot of experts who will have these sessions to guide you and help you with regards to different domains, different organization. Maybe it's a service based organization or a product based organization, and how machine learning and AI is going to evolve in it. So all of these things will be clear to you as in you move ahead with the course, with a lot of attending these webinars. In case if you miss attending these webinars, definitely there will be a recorded link provided to you. And we have a dedicated career center which Snehal just showed you with regards to how the job portal exactly works. The job portal on the platform will be available to you within the next 20 days of your course. In the last 1 year alone, 79% of our learners said that experience with upgrad has been significant boost to their professional life. As we just few slides back, I just showed you how there were people who have in COVID have transitioned with a good position and a very good salary hike. So it's all amongst the people getting back to us post completion of course with these things. So student experience and deadlines was something which was a bit explained by Professor Sridhar. I will just quickly take you through how exactly this works with an example. I just hope I'm not going too fast. If there's anything, please let me know. I'll just once again reiterate things. Can I just get a confirmation? Like, is the pace good or should I go a bit slow? Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. So I'll just quickly take you through how exactly this deadline works. With a simple example, my module started on 7th of September. I'm supposed to complete that module by 14th of September, which is the actual due date, which is showed on my learning platform. By any chance, see, I am supposed to complete that module by 14th September. That's what given to me. That's what expected by me. In some case, maybe a medical situation, maybe a natural calamity, maybe an office work pressure, I'm not able to complete that module by 14th. Now, in this scenario, I can complete my module by next Wednesday, which can be 21st of September. So now, since I'm completing my module in the hard deadline, which is an extended week, I have two drawbacks for me. The first drawback is like whatever modules I'll be completing in the hard deadline, I will get 30% penalty to my marks. So for example, if that module had 50 marks allotted for multiple choice questions, and if I'm doing that in the hard deadline, I will be graded out of only 70% of the marks of 50. So that's one drawback. The second drawback I have for myself is like there will be another module schedule at that point of time as well. So if you would have went through the course calendar shared with you, you can clearly see that the module due dates are being mentioned. So in case if you are missing out on any of the deadlines, you're going to have a good replication in the next week for you with a lot of work on your plate. So just make sure that you spend 14 to 15 hours on an average in a particular week. Every day, personally, I will suggest you make sure every day you are dedicating 2 hours. Over the weekend, stretch a bit to 2.2 to 2.5 to 3 hours. It will be easy for you to go through these course. Okay. And I wanted to be very frank in a way with you all that see, it is an overwhelming thing. You are taking a good decision to upskill, whereas there are a lot of things on your plate right now. You are working professional, you need to manage your family. On top of that, you are doing this course, and there are a lot of other many things to you. So please make sure that you plan your upcoming months in such a way that you dedicatedly get time to do this course, because this is kind of an time related course, because see, in machine learning and AI, you are going to perform a lot of algorithms. You need to train a machine to work like a human being, and it's going to be a bit of time consuming. See, we do mention that 14 to 15 hours on an average is required. However, on an individual basis, it will definitely vary. So I would suggest you that since this is just the start planning your weeks and months accordingly. If there's any lag coming, or if there's any sudden things coming on your end, and if you're not able to meet up the deadlines, or if there are any concerns, please, I request you to reach out to me first so I can plan things accordingly, and I'll help you out that how you can complete things in certain timelines and it will not impact your grades as well. So that was one of the things. Students need to find their own pace and it will require commitment. As mentioned, it depends on an individual. I'm really sorry for that. Cohort progresses together. So this statement means cohort progresses together is like, see, for example, we have modules being scheduled. So likewise, there was a question a few minutes back on the chat section that should I go ahead and start with EDA, or when are the other modules scheduling? So the ideal date, so there is a small discrepancy on the platform in which you could see on the program calendar with the dates of pre-preparatory course. On the platform, it is showing you 23rd December, and whereas on the calendar, it is showing you 14th. Okay. We have given you time to complete that pre-preparatory course by 23rd, but your actual module for the statistic essential course starts from 15th of December. So from 15th December, you have to start your stats essential, because your due date to complete stat essential course is 21st of December. So the pre-preparatory course is an prerequisite to your main program. It's not graded, not a part of your IIITB course. However, if we see on the other part, stats essential course is something which is very important. So make sure like you plan your next upcoming 10 days in a way that you complete your pre-preparatory course, and then moving ahead, it becomes easy for you to go ahead and complete your stats essential course as per the timelines. Now, secondly, the dates concern. I will be letting you all know on email that will that date be changing to 14th of December, the due date for the pre-preparatory course, or it will be same as per the platform. Okay, there is no issue in keeping your pre-preparatory course incomplete. The only thing is like you can complete that pre-preparatory course simultaneously with your modules, but again there are two drawbacks for you. The first thing, you would have a lot of things to complete in your main program, which is stats essential. You might not get time to go back and learn your prep course things. The second thing is like if you're completing within the due dates, which is as now I would keep it as 23rd of December. If you are completing the modules on time, you will be facilitated with a certificate by upgrade. I once again reiterate the dates confirmation. I'll give it to you on email by Monday EOD. So deadlines thing which we just discussed, KYC document submission is mandatory. You would receive a form link in your welcome to the program module. I would request you all to please make sure that you send your documents on time. It will help you to easily get your triple ITB roll number, email ID and password. If there is a delay in submission of documents, there will be a delay in getting your credentials as well. I will go through the queries and the Q&As post I just complete with this. So like the triple ITB and upgrade alumni status, like we discussed about this, like you would be getting all of these. You will have upgrade experts helping you. There will be upgrade ambassadors, evangelists, attend community meetups, networking opportunities. We'll have base camps, which is an offline event. It's a one-day event where we will be letting you know like when we would be having this event away in advance. We have these events in 4 major cities, which is Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad. On the same day, it's kind of an event where you get to network with other people, meet your alumni, meet your classmates together, and it's just a fun activity day. However, it will help you to with a lot of networking purpose. So then grading breakup. Definitely Professor Sridhar had went through a bit and bites of it, but I'll just give you a clarity on this. So we have 4 grading components, which is MCQ, assignment, group case study, and online exam. Together of all these 4 components, it is mandatory for you to get minimum 25% of marks in each particular course. However, the final cumulative CGPA to get this degree certificate will be 2.4 CGPA out of 4. So now I'll quickly help you understand. Appearing your online exam is mandatory for you all. There will be 2 online exams, and after every 2 courses there will be 1 online exam. We'll be informing you about the same way in advance. So your upgrad buddy is going to be accountable for all the communications coming to you for the same. Secondly, the assignments and the group case studies. There were few queries coming lately, like every module would have an assignment or a case study. So I would like to answer that no, every module will not have an assignment and case study. You have a course. So Stats Essential is one course, and there are different modules in Stats Essential. So if there are 5 modules, one of the module will be an assignment or a case study, and the rest of the 4 modules would be like content, where there will be recorded videos which you have to go through, and just below that there will be multiple graded questions which you need to resolve. So I hope this is clear. To get more clarity on this, I would request each one of you to go through the student manual, which is there in the welcome to the program module. Also, right after the session, I will once again post the program calendar, the student manual, on the chat section. I request you to please save it and mark it as important. It has all the information with regards to the course grading policy. Moving ahead with the grading breakup, a strict no plagiarism policy is followed. Even this was discussed by Professor Sridhar. I'm really sorry I couldn't show you the slide. There was some issue with my laptop. So with plagiarism, I wanted to tell you that it is very strict. The IITB University is very strict. The assignments and case studies which you will be submitting goes under a plagiarism check. If by any chance, if your submission is found out to be uh, like unethically used in a term as copied from any other cohort learner or from your batchmates, you will be marked as zero for that particular assignment or a case study. So please make sure that you don't go to all these things, and fairly whatever you do it by yourself, you let us know about it. Definitely we'll be there with you in case if you have any queries, if you need a bit of push to understand a particular content or a case study or an assignment, do reach out to me. I'll help you with the same. With that, we also have a doubt resolution sessions every day, which will be planned for your batch as well. You'll get the notification on live.upgrad.com, which is also there on your portal, the homepage, second option called as live. So that live will help you to understand what all sessions are planned for you in the upcoming week or on daily basis as well. Focus on graded and non-graded components of the program. So graded are the ones which are mandatory for you to complete as they are part of your IIITB course. Non-graded are the something which are given for your practice purpose. So there can be a lot of coding questions which are there for practice purpose. There can be a lot of multiple choice questions for your practice purpose. So focus on both of them. You might not know those can help you with your examination, or that will give you some different idea to connect with your content. Very important to always be on track. A 2.4 require constant hard work. That's well said. It will definitely require a constant hard work because it's an overwhelming thing which you're going to do for upcoming 12 months for IIITB. And if you are enrolled for masters, it's going to be 12 plus those 6 months of master's program. So that's all about for today. I will be connecting with you all in bits and parts as we move ahead with the course. So right now, I'll just give you an idea. The most important for you all is to complete your pre-preparatory course, which is Data Science Toolkit course. Until try to complete it by 14th of December. 15 December onwards, it's mandatory for you to start with the Stats Essential course. Otherwise, if you start a bit late, you're going to have that reciprocal of doing things in the hard deadline and getting those penalties for you. So to avoid this, please make sure that you have a very well planned manner of studying from the start of the course itself. Secondly, we will frequently have buddy connects where I will be interacting with you all, where we'll get to interact as in personal. You can unmute yourself and speak. We'll have these sessions in upcoming weeks where we will discuss on a lot of other modules coming, on a lot of other things which will be important for you. I would also want to make a point to let you know that on your welcome to the program module, there is a small form which states small group coaching, which is SGC. So it is a kind of an tuition or a small group coaching sessions for you. These sessions will be 90-minute sessions and they will be planned bi-weekly for you all. So in that form, we have given you an option to select your time slot. So when I say time slot, that means you can let us know that if you want to attend a session on a Saturday or a Sunday. If it is Saturday, which part of the day, first half or second half? Because these sessions are like, if it is scheduled for that particular time throughout the year, you're going to have session for the same time. So please share your responses to avoid any inconvenience for you all to join that session, because for the small group coaching, no recorded link will be provided to you. The rest of all of the sessions, we do provide the recorded link. However, the small group coachings are the mandatory sessions, hence no recorded link is provided for the same. I also wanted to add here, since the small group coaching sessions are mandatory, please don't consider they are going to have any grades. Sessions are not going to have any grades. However, sessions are mandatory for you to join because they are going to help you with a lot of insights on industrial case studies and understanding of your content. So with this, I'm all open for any queries you have. I would request each one of you, if you have anything, please let us know. So I'll just quickly check for few queries. So Gaurav has one query for me. Can't find the handbook with the course content and duration allowed. Gaurav, I'll just copy paste that once again before I leave this session. I'm really sorry, I had a bad internet connect in between, so somehow I was moved out of the session. If we feel that MLNA is not good for me till time, so Gaurav, in this situation, I would request you to drop an email to student support ID. The counseling team will help you to understand which is the good course for you, and they'll help you out. So Jayant has one query. What about research thesis dissertation after the capstone? So Jayant, that's the research thesis dissertation is an master's program details. So we will be having one more webinar in future where we will help you out with all the master details at how exactly your MSML course with LGMU would be working. So do we have holidays in the course plan? Yes, Aniruddha, we do have holidays in the course plan. There is a yellow color mark mentioned as buffer week. So those are the weeks where you are free, like you don't have any modules scheduled. I couldn't find the link for the form. Could you please share the link? Yes, Aman, the link is there in the form. However, I'll once again paste it here. If we feel okay, the same question. Have you already created the Telegram channel? No, I haven't created the Telegram channel because we only create the Telegram channel post we get an approval from IIITB. So post 17th of November, we'll be doing so. Muskan, are you talking about Python crash course by small group coaching that will be held on 11? No. So Muskan, Python crash course are different thing. Crash course is a 4 live session schedule, which we will be sharing with you soon. And the other part, which is the small group coaching, is a different thing. Small group coaching is going to be with you throughout the year. So every bi-weekly, you will have that session termed as PI sessions, which is peer interaction session. Where Python crash course is a kind of live sessions which are there for you in the upcoming week. Omkar, yes, I'll be sharing the Telegram link with you post 17th of December. Gaurav, with regards to your questions, because I see it's been asked multiple times, I would request you to please reach out to your counselor. He'll help you to guide you with the same. Post session, I'll give you a call back. Anirudh, how do we suggest we plan vacation during the course? Anirudh, like when you are planning out any vacations, please personally reach out to me on student support email ID. I will get on a call and I'll explain you how we can manage your work at that point of time. So yes, Muskan, I'll share the link with you just 2 minutes. We already sent docs while enrolling to the course. Do we need to resubmit it? Yes, Suraj, please resubmit your documents once again, because the ones you send towards the start will be re-verified again now by IIITB. Any other questions for me in the Q&A? Okay, Kushal, I answered your question with regards, sorry, Suraj, I answered your question with regards to docs. Then there is an anonymous attendee asking no Telegram link sent to me. The Telegram channel is not yet formed. We will be forming this post 17th of December. The link will be sent to you on your register email ID. Will there be a PDF of course book provided other than the video tutorials? So Kushal, there is no course book being provided. However, towards the end of every module, we have a summary PDF. So you can download that summary PDF. I didn't receive any handbook timeline for the model. I didn't receive Telegram. I'm sharing the handbook and the timeline once again here on the chat section. Apart from this, I would want to tell you that the rest of the 2 things, which is your which is the Telegram channel, will be formed post program. Post 17th of December, you will receive the same. I am just sharing the important links to you all. I request you all to save it. Don't worry, these links have been shared with you all earlier as well in the email thread. I would request you all to please go through the emails sent by Upgrad SS Communication. So there's this one link. I would request you all to please copy paste the links which I am sharing. I have also shared the recorded link for this session. The recorded link of this session will also be provided to you on your email by Monday EOD. You can go through it if you want to like revise anything or if anything help you need. Muskan, the small group coaching link, I'll be sending it to you all on email with the recorded link for today's session. I have just shared, Aman. No, no link received. Okay, I'm not sure why you people are not receiving the links because I've just shared these links right away in the chat section itself. Okay, no worries. I would send this all these links to you all on email. Although you can check these links from your learn.upgrad.com. Welcome to the program module as well. The links have been shared there as well. Just give me a moment. I'll just check. It was shared with everyone. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Now is it visible? Now everyone is able to see the links? Okay, great, great. Okay. So that's all for today. Any more queries for me? If you have any queries, please go to the chat bot and ask, or I will be connecting with you all in upcoming weeks. Ideally, if you have any queries, just let us know on the student support email ID. We'll get back to you. Meanwhile, I just wanted to tell you, I will be connecting with you all on one-on-one call in upcoming weeks. So please make sure that any call you get from Upgrad, from like Priya, it's the me who's going to call you. So please make sure you receive the call. In case you cannot, I will connect with you post 6 as well. If as per your convenience, you can let me know. Abhishek, no, you don't get any email for resubmitting the KYC documents. In case if your documents get rejected by university by any chance, then I will connect with you to resubmit them. Otherwise, there's no verification email you get or confirmation email you get. So one question is that before 14 December, do we need to complete the additional resources? So I wanted to tell you, no, the additional resources need not to be completed within the due dates. You can complete them post the due date as well, because those additional resources will not have any kind of impact on your grades. Any other queries for me? Okay, so are there any grade live sessions in the program? No grade live sessions in the program. The course content will be available post program. Yes, the course content will be available post program as well for 3 years. So that's one thing. I would just like to like resolve few queries which we had in middle of the session when Tejaswini was taking the session. I'm really sorry I couldn't answer them. I had some issue with my internet connect and laptop. So there was one question, will we get any kind of additional GPU access while doing your capstone project and your deep learning? So yes, there will be an additional GPU access shared with you. It is named as Jarvis. So as in you reach to that point of time, we'll let you know. Meanwhile, if you want to do anything and you need help, you can use Google Colab for the same. Yes, Omkar, the timeline for the pre-preparatory course is a bit different on the platform and the program calendar. I'll be confirming this with the academic team and getting back to you all on Monday on an email. There was one more question in the middle of the sessions that if I select one elective, will I get access to rest of the electives? So yes, if you the one which you selected, you have to complete that. Post the grades are out, you will get access to all the other electives as well. The same goes with the capstone project. You do one project, but post the solution is out, you get access to all of the capstone projects. So Muskan, the small group coaching link will be shared with you on email on Monday, where I'll be sharing all these details once again to you with the recorded link for today's session. Yes, Abhishek, there's one link which is also for the referral. So just in case, I wanted to let you all know at Upgrad, we have a referral policy. So the referral policy comes up with good benefits for you all. In case any of your colleagues, friends, family, anyone who's willing to join any course with Upgrad, and if you want to refer them for any course or have the, or give them a free counseling call, you can enter the details in the mentioned form, and I'll help you out with the same. So basically, this is only to make sure that the referral code is used while enrolling and you don't miss out on the referral bonus. Because the bonus is like huge in amount. It is like people have almost recovered their course fees by referring to their friends and helping them out to upskill. So Omkar has one more question. Okay, before that, is the capstone project done as a group? No, capstone project is an individual project. Omkar has one question, Priya. So I was learning slowly and steadily, but now you have shared the link of the program calendar. I think it's very hectic as I'm working professional. So Omkar, I informed you earlier as well. This course is a very well structured course. You need to plan your things accordingly. That you have to complete the mentioned timelines for the course. That's the reason we make sure that we let you know like a year in advance how things are planned for you. So definitely when there are situations and any genuine cases coming, you reach back to us. We'll help you out with different ways, with providing an extension, helping you out with other facilities which we have at Upgrad. But although the timeline you need to follow, because that's a part of a triple ITB policy, where you have to complete your whole executive PG program in machine learning and AI within period of 12 to 13 months. Can you explain the Sunday part in the program calendar? So Muskan, that's just a weekend mention. So just to like brief you that within the start date and end date, there is a weekend where you can study or you'll have a live session. There's no major part to be mentioned there. With the next module open only after the due date of the previous module? No, we will be always publishing the module 3 weeks in advance. So to make sure that if you have anything pre-planned for you in upcoming future, you can complete that work in advance and like go for a vacation or anything you have planned for yourself. So that will not impact your grades. Right now, since this is just the start, the 2 modules are published on the platform. Eventually, you will see that most 15 December or 17 December onwards, there will be new modules published on the platform. On which channel we can connect with our buddy on daily basis? Kashifa, like I'll be sending my Telegram ID to you all with the Telegram link, so that becomes easy for you to connect with me for an easy connect. However, in case if you have any queries, please reach out to the chatbot. The chatbot will help you out. If you want to connect with me as well, please ask the chatbot to let you connect with your Upgrad buddy. And definitely in intervals, I will be calling you all. So you will find that I'm following up with your progress, because I'll be tracking your progress on backend on weekly basis. And wherever I see things are going good, bad, sorry, I will be connecting with you on call proactively to discuss things. So Omkar, the portal due dates are there's only a discrepancy with the pre-preparatory course. So I would just request you to wait until Monday EOD. By Monday first half itself, I'll drop you an email with the correct dates, okay? However, even though if the pre-preparatory dates remain, like the due date remains as 23rd of December, although it's mandatory for you to complete your statistic essential by 21st of December, because that's not going to change. They might give you an extension to complete the pre-preparatory course, but the actual dates of the actual course will never change. I want to change my email ID. How can I do that? Don't want to lose the course which I have completed already. No, you will not lose the course completed there. So what you do is like just log into upgrad.com, visit my profile, and under my profile you will have edit option. You can edit and change your email ID from there. I have chosen for every evening session, but Sunday Python crash course is morning. So Hemant, the evening session which you have chosen, no, that is only with regards to your SGC sessions, which is PI sessions. However, the sessions which will be having over the weekends, no, can vary their timings. Sometime it might be morning, sometime it might be evening. But the PI session which you select will remain throughout the year on a particular time slot. I have tried once, but after changing, I was getting an enrolled in another course. So, Sachin, what you do is like you drop an email to studentsupport@upgrad.com. I'll get that done from the tech team. Yeah, great. Any more queries for me? I think we are done for the day. It was a really great session. I would love to interact with you all on one-on-one calls and a lot of buddy connects happening in future. So meanwhile, please be rest assured, I'm there to help you out with your course throughout the year. Any query, any question you have, please feel free to reach out to me. So usually like our working hours, grad buddy working hours from 10:30 to 7:30 from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sundays are a week off, but in case if there's any urgent, I would request you to please let me know on the Telegram channel or drop us an email. There's a support team which takes care. So anything which should not hamper your study, we'll take care of it. Any resolution you want, we will be always there to help you out. Maybe it academics, maybe it non-academics. Stay rest assured you have taken a very good decision to upskill yourself. This is going to boost your career in a very good manner. And all the best to each one of you for this course, and like hoping to have a great journey with you all. Thank you so much. Kashif, I just mentioned the calendar dates are only, there's a discrepancy with the due dates of the pre-preparatory course and on the platform. I will get that confirmed and get back to you on Monday with proper details, because I need to confirm that with the university. Such an academic planner will be confirmed once you start with your Stats Essential course, which is on 15 September onwards. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye. Sure. Like whoever has mentioned to call you back, definitely I'll be calling you back in upcoming week on one-on-one call. Before calling, I'll make sure that I drop you a message so I get your availability and we'll have a brief discussion. Okay. Thank you. Thanks.